They like the chaos.
They like the chaos. So when you're able to
chaos,
let that chaos reign with
chaos,
let that chaos reign with
chaos,
let that chaos reign with
must reign.
This is round 2. Let's begin. High IQ versus Andrew Wilson. And we're going to do some reactions and covers. Let's go.
I'm not arguing anything.
We're getting so off topic.
He's
Here,
asking me questions.
Let me just bring it back then.
Yeah, I know. You reject Paul.
No. Yeah, I reject Paul, but even like James and
the original thing was your contention is essentially Jesus was this like hippie tree hugger that never was harsh or.
I didn't say.
And Andrew's saying, well, actually, there's this example where Jesus said, "You brood of vipers," and. So okay, that's the origination. I guess moving it on to back to this.
But what people don't.
No, moving it on. Hold on.
I'm not allowed to make my last point.
Make it.
We're supposed to follow what Jesus told us to do.
You don't know anything Jesus told us to do. Literally.
Wait, are you Christian?
I actually want to hear one thing that you think Jesus told us to do.
Love God, love your neighbors. Love God, love your neighbors, follow the commandments. I call myself a follower of the way, which means the original before the Bible. Sometimes before that. Listen, let me explain.
What's the denomination of the church you go to?
Protestant.
Okay.
I don't have one in
Protestant.
Austin.
It's not a denomination; it's an allocation.
Yeah. Okay. I've been to 1,000 different types of churches. I don't call myself a Christian. I go to church for the community and love of God.
So you don't even follow Christ?
I follow Christ. It's a different. A follower of the way is the way. Jesus tells you the way. Is following the commandments.
Yeah, that's
to become
the 70s
a disciple.
Hippie shit. Yeah. I remember reading the way.
Yeah. So I've tried to become more, bring myself
Jesus
more
God?
towards. Was he hot?
Was he God?
No.
No, Jesus
He
isn't
was a
God.
prophet.
He's a prophet.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's not God.
No.
So you deny the divinity of Christ.
Can you stop with
I'm so sorry. I'm a very twitchy person.
Do you deny the divinity of Christ?
He is divine. No, I don't.
How is he divine if he's just a prophet?
I mean, he's just as divine as like Buddha, or I mean, I think it's all the same God with a different dialect and different cultures.
You're spiritual.
So it's monism.
I mean, sort of. I mean,
not sort of. It just is, right? So all different denominations have truth.
No, I wouldn't say all. I believe what I believe. I also believe in like reincarnation. I don't fit. Whatever, like, don't make fun of me. I'm not making fun of y'all for your beliefs.
Well, no, the thing is like, I'm not going to, here's the thing, like my position. I don't get or take lectures from non-Christians on Christianity because they don't know what the fuck they're ever talking about.
You don't own Jesus. Christianity was created after he passed away and people are interpreting it in different ways.
That's a pause right there. And as y'all come in and like this stream, you know, I find women get very tongue-tied, very baffled, very much confused when men of any substance or intellect comes to question their norm ways and their beliefs to really stand from what you know or don't know or what you really believe in. And this is what a lot more modern men should be doing for a lot of these Western women, because they go to school for 5, 10, or God knows, maybe constantly every 4 years. You hear most of them keep going back to school to get more degrees, and look what is the aftermath, the results of all these degrees. You can't answer or much really have real critical thinking. Pathetic. Well, let's keep going.
I follow what he said, and I've looked into the history of all of it.
You have, huh?
Yeah.
All right, well, can you just tell me what happened in Acts?
Yeah, okay.
What happened in Acts? Yeah, what happened? Just tell me. You've researched it all. What happened in Acts?
Well, she wants to look it up on her.
Well,
Why do you need to look it up? I thought she researched it.
Can I? Yeah, I don't.
I think it's almost more of a rhetorical question in the sense that
I know it's a rhetorical question.
I don't think he actually has an interest in it.
But can I just give you the list of what Paul said compared to Jesus and how
Oh, you're going to look at the
myself
Pauline contradictions, the supposed Pauline contradictions?
Yeah.
Really? That's what you came equipped with? That's what you came equipped with, was the supposed Pauline contradictions? Really? Okay. We can go through them if you want. You can't even tell me what happened in Acts.
In Acts, there was like on the hill, there's,
Got me. Man, that's why I don't ever listen to non-Christians about Christianity
well,
ever.
shouldn't you listen to Jesus above anything else instead of Paul?
Well, here's the thing that's funny, is like, did Jesus himself write anything?
No, but
so who am I listening
to? He told us exactly what to do and his disciples and who becomes a disciple.
Did he appear to his disciples
Disciples need witness.
Did he appear to his disciples post-death?
Yeah.
Okay, and is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Then why couldn't he appear to Paul?
I think that Paul...
That's not my question. My question is, why couldn't he appear to Paul if he appeared to his other disciples? Why not?
Because he wasn't a disciple.
Why couldn't he appear to Paul?
He could.
Okay, so then he could, right? Paul's on the road to Damascus, right? Jesus makes an appearance. Is that correct?
If you think it's Jesus, he
okay,
blinds
and then
him,
this
throws
is
him off the
verified
horse.
by other apostles who tested him. They had power given to them by Christ, didn't they? Because he went to each of them post-death. But you know better. What do they know? They were just his apostles.
First of all, they were still human, and I think Paul is a test because Jesus warned us ahead of time that there would be fake apostles, and he told us exactly.
Mm-hmm.
He warned us in several different statements that there would be heresies and fake apostles, and even committed people.
What was Paul's name?
Paulos, Saul was the original.
And what did he do? Do you remember?
Murdered a bunch of Christians.
What did he do?
What do you mean?
What
For
was
work?
his job, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that.
You don't know. You don't know anything about the very...
I just told you his name is Saul.
You don't know...
What do you mean?
You don't
I
know,
don't know it all.
You don't know anything about the context of the very thing it is that you're talking about, which is why I never listen to lectures about Christianity from non-Christians.
You have to know what someone did for a living.
Checkmate.
You have to know what someone did for a living?
It's very important, especially with Paul, to see how Paul's beginnings, right, changed into something far more humble when he became a tent maker afterwards. And this is why, in fact, they tried to drive Paul out. What you're talking about, there were fake apostles. They were called super apostles. And they tried to drive Paul out. That's what happened. And he had to go and put a stop to that. That literally happened. And the thing that's so funny is, like, you don't know any of that. You don't know any of the history. You don't know what happened with the cult of Artemis. You don't know what happened with any of the Pauline doctrine. None of you ever do. Yeah. You just go, Paul said mean shit that I don't like. That means that Jesus is not a hippie.
It's counteractive to what Jesus said. I don't think Paul meant bad, but like... does that mean everything he ever says is going to be?
I got to redirect the conversation.
I'm just saying.
I got redirected a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if it goes against what Jesus Christ told us and the way he said.
You don't even know what Jesus Christ told us.
Yes, I did.
No, you don't know anything about the Bible. Just stop. It's embarrassing.
I think you're a little bit out of the wheelhouse, just a teeny bit.
As you guys come in, make sure to like the stream. Hey, they need to change conversation because she is not really ready to have that religious conversation. I think most modern women should need to stay away from the Bible. They put the book down or most of the night reading the book. I remember there was a stream today, a woman quoting scripture telling men that men cannot teach women how to become wives, which that might be true, but the problem is, bitch, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You haven't read the book, the scripture, that whole section of the book, but you're quoting telling men what they can't do. Nah, we don't believe that. And for a lot of women that is very baffled or tongue-tied when these dudes ask deep questions about religion, these women are not really serious about it. I think they're more or less religious than ever. If you find a woman today that is religious, they're using it as a weapon towards you. Keep that in mind, man. Let's go.
Andrew's a Christian. Andrew's an Orthodox Christian.
Yeah, this is why I wanted you to debate James Tolerico.
But I don't think you have a strong theological foundation, like an understanding.
I'm just telling you,
effectively participate in this.
I'm a
discourse.
redliner. If you follow redline Christianity, read what Jesus said.
And you believe in reincarnation, and
Jesus
Jesus believes in
red
reincarnation.
line Christianity is.
I don't know what that is, to be honest.
It highlights what Jesus actually said and comparing it to what's actually in
All right. Here, I
the
gotta
Bible.
move it on.
Red line is way different than modern Christianity.
Well, let me ask you a question about what Jesus said. Just last question. Okay. What does John 1:1 say?
I don't have all this memorized.
No, this is important because you denied the divinity of Christ. What's John 1:1 say?
God, like probably.
Does John himself say that Jesus Christ is the Word? And in the beginning, hang on, and in the beginning there was the Word, and who was the Word with? Who was the Word with in the beginning?
I don't know.
The Word was with God, and who was?
No,
hang
I thought
on,
it was
and who
God.
was the Word?
Jesus.
No, the Word was God. The Word was God. In the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
Yeah, he's speaking from. Yeah, he's
if
speaking
Jesus
God's
is the
words.
Word,
he is the Word,
and and the Word is God, then what is Jesus by the transitive properties?
We all have.
And hang on, I'm going to ask the question. I want the answer. If it's the case that Jesus is the Word, and the Word is God by the transitive properties of this statement, what would that make Jesus?
He's speaking from, he has God's message to send. Like he isn't God. No. He never said he was
Jesus
God.
Is the Word.
He's speaking God's words.
John, he said, okay, first of all,
I don't understand.
This is crazy.
Dude, I haven't slept well. I'm not.
Nobody slept well.
Andrew,
just explain it to me then.
He flew in today to do the debate.
He flew in today. His nicotine.
I told you that I'm not a Bible expert.
Huh? Well, then why? Just let me move it on then.
I want to move it on.
I'm trying to move it on, but you want to get the final word. Okay, all right.
I never claimed to be. I never claimed to be a biblical scholar.
Look, I'm not trying to say you're a biblical scholar, right? I wouldn't have even brought it here.
That's been established.
The problem comes. I'm not a biblical scholar, okay? But the problem comes in.
I don't have it memorized.
The problem comes in. I don't have. Look, I'm not asking you to memorize anything. What I'm saying to you is this: the reason that I don't listen to heresychristian.com and heresy Christians who try to tell me what Jesus would do in any given situation, use that as their baseline for criticism, is because they don't know fucking anything about what they're talking about. They don't know anything about the New Testament. They don't know how it was put together, why it was put together. They don't know anything. Hang on, because they don't know.
That's right. Andrew's right. Most of them don't. Let me tell you something. If we look at the average reading in America, which they said is roughly slightly around a 6, maybe slightly above a 6, we got to keep in mind and really think hard that most people in the West, if we want to keep it real honest, are not reading the Bible. Hell, most of them don't even, they try to shame and banish certain things that is religious based. Look what happened to the basketball player that got cut from the Chicago Bulls that tried to bring in all his views, and he is a Christian. You see what happened? So if your views in a more corporate setting is not accepted, you think it's accepted in the formal setting of an institution we call school? I don't think so. Let's carry on.
Know anything. I don't listen to their criticisms using that as the foundation for criticism. If you had used something else, we would perhaps be getting into that, but you didn't. You said, I'm going to criticize you from the baseline of the Bible that you don't know anything about.
Just because I don't have it memorized.
Stop. Andrew had the final word on that. Okay, let me finish up some more of this, and hopefully we can get to something more. Okay, really quick, touching on this very briefly. Again, going back to the premise of my show, male loneliness epidemic. You your position is my viewer base is incels. There are incels who can't get laid. Just curious, I think it is fair to ask, when is the last time that you got laid?
First of all, I don't think the majority of you are incels, and I said that because when
You think the majority of my audience is
I don't.
incel losers, basically, who never get laid. Which
the people who are saying rude shit in their comments, who watch you religiously, and
What if they're just
tell
playboys?
people that women that they shouldn't be able to have the right to vote while they're trying to bang them at the same time. I think that would kind of put them in the incel category.
Why would hold on? Words need to have meaning. Incel stands for involuntarily celibate.
when
So
they're becoming an
Hold
incel
on,
if they're
but-
coming at
but
women
so-
like that?
But why should we even believe that that's true?
What do you mean?
Why should we believe that there's men in your DMs who are trying to date you and
wanna
telling you?
see it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to see the actual
Do we,
content.
Wait. Don't tell me this dumb, stupid chick. I mean, this chick here saying that the men that is not allowed want you to vote and want to have sex with you are incels. I don't think the word incels relates to telling women they can't vote. And yeah, she's not making no sense. She sounds stupid. It makes me want to go double check the definition of incel, but I'm not gonna waste my time double check the word incels because these women are using words out of context, man. Now, is there a number of large non-black men that are falling under the opposite in labels of incels? Yes, in a way, but is it in a way where, let's be fair, honest, a lot of them that listen to these podcasts, including these two gentlemen, not really. But let's keep listening. I'm gonna see what she about to show. This is gonna be interesting.
Context. Yeah, I do. I do want to see the actual context behind.
Okay.
Hey, I want to date
Read
you
it to
and
us.
take your right to vote away. I want the context there.
Okay.
By the way, I took a poll of my audience, and they're
I
just
don't care.
they're definitely not incel. They're just.
I don't
running
think they're
through.
incels. I'm saying when you go about things a certain way and make
so-
things mainstream that aren't, and they're trying to date you and they're saying shit like that, then
Let's see
they're
what they're
kind of
saying.
narrowing the
But
dating scene.
because a handful of men. By the way, my live streams collect. Like,
I'm not talking about everybody.
Damn. Can you stop interrupting,
Fine.
please? Can you stop? Okay. So, even if it's true that a handful of men sent you DMs and it originated from my audience, the total viewership just for the live streams, typically after 30 days, we receive about 200,000 views total on my live streams. So let's even say a dozen people DM'd you. I don't think that would be representative of the viewer base, not even factoring in the hundreds of millions of monthly views we get across our clips. So, I mean, I don't understand.
I know. I'm talking about a certain type that maybe clings on to that a little bit too seriously. I don't think the
you didn't
majority of them are like that.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know why. It's interesting. You made a criticism multiple times throughout the show about labeling, yet in your messages to me, you wanted to label my viewers as incels and that my show, that I, or perhaps Andrew, were spewing garbage that makes women repulsed by men.
Yeah. I was talking about exactly what I was going on in my dating life with it.
Right, but people
I'm
who
not-
DM you wouldn't necessarily be representative.
I just said that the majority of them are great,
Okay,
nice
fine, then
people.
I'll pass on that.
I still
further-
talk to a lot of them. I'm hanging out with one of them in the next month.
So then it sounds like it's a very effective dating strategy.
you're
I
hanging
told
out
it was
with
just
them.
as friends. I told him. I told him.
Oh
it was
yeah, well,
just
it's
as friends.
just as friends.
just as
Yeah.
I
you're just gonna be-
I straight up told
you're
him
saying,
that.
somebody in the whatever audience is having a one-on-one rendezvous with you. W
As
whatever
just friends?
podcast. There it is. You
Yeah,
can
I
find
straight
love
up said. I
in
straight up
all
told
kinds
him
of-
like if we do hang out like legit, like
That-
it's just friends.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's coming into
my
town, and I said,
personal-
okay, cool.
I mean, my advice to you is, I mean, everybody who watches my shows is an
incel who's getting dates.
Dude, why would I still be talking to these dudes if I thought they were like bad people? Like,
I don't know. Have you tried
the
Tinder?
Majority of them? Oh,
Bumble?
gosh.
Maybe you could go out.
It's so horrible. No.
Don't you live in Austin? Aren't there a bunch of...
I don't even date. I told
Maybe
them.
you should go to an anti-ICE protest and you can try to find a guy there.
I don't give a
But
shit
hold on,
about it.
I'm
I'm not trying to find a guy.
By the way, just to be clear, sometimes...
I'm not trying to find a dude.
Okay, but sometimes you don't have to respond to like everything I say. But anyways, okay, moving off of the incel thing, I do. To be fair,
There are some. Just
I
admit.
don't think you have.
Admit.
Sure.
That's
sure.
who I was
But I
talking
don't think
about.
you have any evidence as to the makeup of my audience.
I think that there's feminists who have incels in their chat.
So it's when I
Actually, probably more.
Probably more, yeah.
so the
Can I
case.
respond? It's when I watch like it live and you see the chats coming in. It's.
Wait. Really quick though. So, YouTube comments, I'll just stick to YouTube. YouTube comments, YouTube live chat. Even prior to me ever starting the Whatever podcast, you could go watch a baking video, and the YouTube comments. YouTube has a reputation, the comment section, for being like fucking awful, even for content that is not perhaps as controversial as the Whatever podcast. You could you see a gaming video, the comments are like insane. You could look at any video and the comment section is pretty wild. Live chat, even more wild.
That's
so I don't
who I'm
think that that's
talking
anything
about.
representative of the Whatever podcast necessarily.
That's who I'm talking about.
That's just the climate online.
I get
YouTube
it.
comments.
And let's face it, that shit's fun. Like that shit's fun for people to go. Like people like to go and they like to vent. They like to talk their little shit in comments.
Anonymously.
Because it's fun. And here's the thing. I don't think you're above that. I bet you've been in YouTube comments and talked your little shit before.
She called me a bitch, a little bitch.
Little
bitch. By the way, you said some very mean things about Andrew, which I'm holding for a little bit. But I guess moving on here. In any case.
Then later, I undid my response and said, okay.
Okay, we'll get to it. You don't have any evidence as to the makeup of my audience. I'd prefer you debate the actual points, not like do a caricature of what you think my audience is.
What do you
don't
mean?
have to. Hey, you don't have to respond to everything. It's okay. It's okay. I'm moving it on.
It's funny because a lot of the whatever, like if you're talking about hardcore fans versus like random viewers, things like this, I would tier it. So I would always say you're not going to monolith an entire audience of hundreds of thousands because that's the audience base, right?
To be real with y'all, I don't really care less what these women think about who's criticized them in the comment section or wherever social media they use. If they don't like the criticism or hear from other men or even women and their views, opinions about them when they put themselves out here on the internet, especially on podcasting, that's their problem, not the viewers. I said personally because I don't get much comments here on the Chaos Rain Show that I should. But if I do, and I do attain some, I get pretty reasonable comments for now. Will that be in the near future, in a couple years down the line? I don't know, depending on the strength of this channel. But overall, the comment section is there to see either criticism or just people's views overall of the content alone. Every video that you put out here, and I'm just giving a little game for people that's going to do this YouTube thing. It is natural for people to respond in the way they should respond to what you're putting out here. Now, if you're too sensitive of what their response is about certain videos, right, you talk funny, or you go even further as they don't like the views of your rhetoric on other people's content, you got to take that with a grain of salt, chuck it in, and keep pushing. Now, should we allow disrespect? No. But everybody should know when you come to the comment section, be aware that most people are not going to like or take, what you do to heart. That's why it's there. I'm kind of glad that most of these platforms don't remove the comment section. The one thing I did not like what YouTube did for the last 3 years, maybe 4, is they removed the reaction in regards to the likes, dislikes. One time there was a section where you could see people put dislikes, and you could see the amount of dislikes you got on a video to the amount of likes. So you know what are people's views on your content. They removed the dislike because too many women, like her on this screen that y'all seen right here, get in their goddamn feelings of what people think or view about them. And I think we need to go back to those to the ways where F your feelings. That's where I'm at with it. Man, that's my point. All right, let's keep going.
Of them are in the live chat. Probably before this is done, maybe close to 70, 80,000 who come through the live chat. And then you have people who just watch videos, and like it's all over the place. So you would have to tier it. But I've been in the whatever Discord, and I've been where like the fans hang out and stuff like that. A lot of them are married, right? And surprisingly, there's a lot of women. A lot of women who are like Discord. Who are like, we really, they consider women watch the show.
What's good, Miss O? Miss O in the building, with the info. What's good, my brother?
Show because they consider it a human interest piece. They're watching for totally different reasons than men are.
I watch the show. I love the show.
Yeah, of course.
That it surprised me that married women like watching this podcast. So that's telling that there are not a lot of women that have negative or bad opinions between Andrew and Brian on what they're doing on YouTube. So that dispels the myth about if their content is really problematic. Let that sink in.
Because you're interested in probably what makes people tick, what makes you tick, what makes you think like you think.
No, you all have a lot of good views. I just sometimes.
Am I an incel? Do you think I'm an incel?
No.
Yes.
Not at all.
Fucking piece
no,
of shit
I'm talking about that one type of people that
DM.
It's kind of like the
Well, that's a great mod in Bailey. So at first it's Brian, your audience, all your incel homeboys. Oh no, actually it's just like the dozen men who DM'd me.
If I got into detail, if I got into detail,
is he gonna crack? Is he gonna crack? You think or?
Crack about what?
Never mind.
Sorry.
Anyways,
he's going to frame Mob. This dude's going to show up and he's going to frame Mob.
He's going to incel Max.
Totally.
Yeah, I just don't think it's good for society for us to literally make fun of each other all the time, and it's not everyone on the show.
You called me.
That's a very feminine view too, by the way.
What?
Just the idea of like everybody should be nice to each other. We should all really rally around the things we agree on versus what we disagree on, things like that. Men don't actually think that way very often. Oftentimes, in fact, the way that men get along best is when they're roasting each other, when they're hard on each other.
Roast each other.
When
That's
they're
cool.
when they're awful to each other. They don't even actually consider a lot of that to be anything other than what's considered pure bonding. And it's a very feminine view. And women have it all the time, that men need to act like women. And part of the whole coming together thing and this type of stuff inside of a political frame usually comes from a feminine view. Men seem to be much more understanding of the fact that there's going to be political tribalism and that it's a fight for dominance and power. That's what politics actually is. Yeah, it's not actually about coming together at all. It's about imposing your views on society.
Brian? I hang out with mostly dudes a lot of the time. Calling you
that
a
doesn't
bitch,
make you one though.
That
doesn't make you one.
Wait, hold on. Moving it on.
It wasn't like a serious, like your evil message.
Okay,
like no.
Fine. Well, hold on. We'll get into that. What garbage am I spewing?
I don't think you're spewing garbage. It's more of the.
You wrote it. You said I was spewing garbage. Oh, it's Andrew who spews the garbage.
I've told multiple times that it's.
That's fair.
I've never said you have things. Yeah.
You wrote here. The whole show's premise, blah blah blah. You're spewing garbage that makes women repulsed by men.
The garbage, it would be stuff like the voting, and the things he says that women find repulsive. It's not anything you say. Okay. Your views, I would say, are very based. It's sometimes the way he goes about things that make women repulsed.
We already talked about the 19th, I guess. So,
Smoky Man is indeed bad.
Is there anything besides the voting that you would consider spewing garbage?
Yeah,
stuff?
I talk the stuff about propaganda.
Wait,
Women being more
Easily
prone to
propagandized.
if there was a
propaganda.
study that actually demonstrated this,
I looked
would
it up.
be-
There, I
you
haven't
find?
seen anything.
Oh, well, but there is.
I've looked up all of this. Is there one study?
Andrew, what is the position?
No, there's there's actually a
I've
lot.
looked it up. I didn't find anything.
I'll demonstrate it to you very simply, actually. So, can I ask you a question? Out of men and women, who do you think are the largest retail consumers?
Women.
And so, if you have a corporation, you're running advertisements for a product. If it was the case that men responded better to the advertisements than women, who would you tailor the ads for?
Men, but they're
Hang on.
doing
and,
that.
And who do they tailor? No. In fact, because it is the
Dude
case that
wives
women
and
are
all
so
that.
much easy. It's so much easier to make women buy than it is to make men buy because they're much easier to propagandize. By the way, there are tons and tons of studies about this. You can go to Rachel Wilson, my wife's Substack, and she cites a lot of this. I don't remember what the article was called, but I'm sure that she can DM Brian and we can get it over to you. But she's talked about especially the consumer idealism and the fact that women are specifically targeted by corporations and things like this because it's so easy to sell them shit because of their emotional responses to advertisements.
Okay,
Like,
so
who was the arms of the angel with the little dogs for? You know, like when Sarah McLaughlin, is that her name? Sarah McLaughlin? Yeah, McLaughlin.
Well,
when she's like, in the arms of the angel.
That was
hang on.
hilarious.
Is that for men? Or are they trying to
No.
make women open their fucking purse and send a bunch of money in because they're like, oh my God, this really gets my heart.
but aren't women more in charge of like buying things for the family and stuff like that? So
Now, here's the thing that's
it
interesting.
doesn't seem
That's
accurate.
a great argument, and it's one leftist women often make, but it falls short, and here's why. It is true that women generally will buy for the household, right? Groceries and things like that, but we can adjust for those things by looking at luxury goods and luxury items. And who do you think buys more of those?
The guys are buying it for
No,
sugar,
it's not the guys.
for sugar babies. No. Yeah, I don't like. Yeah.
No, hang on. I'm just going to ask you directly again. Who do you think's buying all these luxury items for the home?
Can we look up that? Because I think
Yes,
there's a
we
bunch
can
of
look that
dumb
up.
dudes doing that too.
Of course, men buy
Guys
luxury.
do it to try to impress the
I'm not
women.
telling you that
Yeah.
men don't buy luxury items. I'm asking you which sex is buying the most of them.
I'd say women, but the dudes are paying for it.
No, you dumb chick. It's you. It's the woman buying all the lunch bags. Fuck what you talk about. The men are giving money. No. What you doing with the money? You're buying luxury purse. Why? Because you want to flaunt to other women while going broke. And not only that, you look dumb buying these little so-called overpriced bags, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada, or whatever you want to call them, and they're made in China, especially for a fraction of the pay. Why you pay $1,000? Girl, are you insane? You think you're paying $1,000 for a bag, but the bag was made in China and it's really cost $25. Let's carry on. Let's move on.
No. What's going on? Even if that was the case, so what? Even if that was the case that men paid for it because they wanted access to sex or something like this, the advertisements are still going to the more easily propagandized sex. That's women.
I don't think it's the more easily propagandaed. It's really for middle class people who want to feel rich. Rich people don't buy that shit. I don't think it's really based off sex. It's like
No, we're talking about even poor people who are
I'd
buying
like to
luxury
see a
items.
study. I mean, if the study
Yes,
is
you can
there,
again.
I
You
would
can
change
go
my
to
mind on
Rachel Wilson's propaganda, or not propaganda, her
clip that,
Substack
please?
on female propaganda.
I mean, I would love to read that, but politically, I would argue that y'all were kind of duped, the conservative side.
Conservatives overall?
Oh,
or
no.
conservative men?
Dudes, I think dudes were more duped with the last vote.
I don't even care.
So wait, is it equal in terms of who's prone to propaganda? Is it equal between men and women? Is it men more prone or is it women more prone?
I think it's same but different ways.
Really quick question on this. In terms of appealing to emotion, who's more prone to that, men or women?
Women.
Okay. And can propaganda be an effective way of appealing to emotion?
Of course. That's not the only distinction of propaganda.
Earlier you were mentioning
political propaganda, I'd say, I'd say that
well, when it comes to all
the
this
dudes
stuff,
got duped when it comes to Trump is what I'm saying.
Okay, well, we're right about to get into that, so
Hang
I
on,
guess
she sent it over. Rachel did for Substack.
Okay,
And here's
I'll
the
see
excerpt.
it.
Women often show stronger positive responses, higher trust, better attitudes towards the ad brand, and greater behavioral intent to emotional advertising, especially empathy, sadness, rational appeals than men. Men prefer to respond better to rational, factual humor, things like this. So, I mean, yes.
I don't disagree
yes,
with that.
they are 100%
No.
more. Yes, they are.
I mean,
research indicates women exhibit more favorable attitudes and trust towards brands using emotional content, while men may suppress emotional responses due to social desirability or stereotypes.
But like, where did that? We buy shit or whatever, but y'all got Trump elected and fell for a lot of lies.
so. No
I
women
think
voted for Trump.
they did.
What lies? What lies did they fall for?
The America First shit, no more wars, the economy.
Where's the wars?
The Epstein files.
Where's the wars?
Well, bombing Iran
So
and
is that a
stealing.
war?
I think when they say America First, they mean literally.
That's not my question. Is that a war?
Not technically, but they're getting ready
So
for
there's
a war.
no new wars?
Lots of bombings,
Is there
lots
any-
of money.
yeah, is there
the
any
whole
new
point of
wars?
America?
Is there any new wars?
Technically, no.
Okay.
The money spent, the bombing, all of that, that is what America First is. No one wanted that. No one asked for that.
But Trump said he wasn't going to engage America in new wars and then went and made sure that to not engage America in new wars.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Okay, which new war?
I didn't say that. No, I'm saying the people saying, "Oh, I have to fight someone to prevent fighting someone." That's propaganda they've been using forever.
Okay, but what does that
Yeah.
have to do with no new wars?
Literally not getting involved and shit that we don't belong
There's
in.
no new wars under Trump. There's none. That's just a typical
Literally,
libtard
they
talking
said
point.
America First, meaning don't get involved in foreign shit that we have nothing to do
And
with.
Trump has mostly focused on domestic policy, especially
Like
illegal
what?
immigration. Like
Other
illegal
than immigration, what
you mean
has
one
he
of
done?
the major campaign promises that he did?
Yeah, and then he's
I know he's
doing
what a
it.
terrible fucking guy. No new wars, and he focused on illegal immigration.
Did he
like
tell
he
everyone
said.
ahead of time that they were going to wear masks with no identification, shoot people in the face? No.
What you mean
And-
with hang on, when it comes to ICE, right?
Yeah.
His base is not upset by ICE.
Can you look that up?
Yeah, you can
I've
look
looked
up.
up
Yes,
all of
you can
this.
You can look up the divide.
I've looked it up. The majority of all people.
We're
are not
talking
cool.
about his base. How does MAGA
what
respond?
the 37% that still like him.
Yeah, his base. His base responds very favorably to what's going on with ICE.
Okay, so like a third of the population.
And by the way, here's the thing. The susceptibility to propaganda is a fun one. You'll find the divide is, once again, mostly along sex lines. I'm so stunned. I'm so shocked that women get very emotional by the fact that you're going to have to, if you're actually enforcing the immigration policy of your country, separate families, like Joe Biden did.
That's okay.
Like Joe Biden did. And where
okay.
the fuck were they? You're going to have to
Listen.
you're going to have to utilize your federal assets in order to remove illegal immigrants, just like Biden did. The only difference is these fuckers weren't out there when Biden was
Because
doing
he
that,
wasn't
or when
masked.
Biden was doing.
He
or
wasn't allowing
Obama.
masked people. Can you let me
Yes, they
explain
were allowing masked people. What are you talking
Joe
about?
Biden had ICE not like face masks for COVID, but literally to cover their identity and won't
Like
respond
face
with a
mask
badge.
for COVID?
But when asked to identify yourself, like cops are supposed to do, law enforcement, they won't. They're coming out of vans in masks.
That's because
chasing people down the street, going into houses without judicial warrants.
Okay, first of all, that's because leftists will dox their entire family and begin harassment campaigns against their fucking families.
That doesn't put them above the law, does it?
First of all, they're not. Nobody's saying they're above the law. But guess what?
That is above the law. That's against the law.
No, it's not against the law. Show me the law.
They're the only.
I just had this debate with Brian Shapiro. Guess what we found out?
They have to identify themselves, which they don't.
No.
Literally, so yeah.
Federal officers only in some circumstances have to do that. That's one.
Can you look
The
that up?
second that you need to look at is the protocols for their safety, right? Safety is what matters here. If it's the case that a bunch of leftists are going to dox your entire family, put it on private websites and then public websites, which they were doing, and funding it from leftist organizations, and then they would harass the shit out of these guys' families, yeah, I'd hide my fucking identity too.
Well,
I do
there's
have,
also...
You want me to look something up?
Yeah,
Okay.
but there's also
Hold on.
the...
Well,
Can I respond real fast?
You asked me to look it up. Let me just give it really
But
quick.
there's also the safety of the people matter.
Okay, there is no federal law requiring agents to not wear masks. California did quite a bit later, or I guess recently, they passed a No Secret Police Act to ban federal agents from wearing masks
Under Newscomb.
that conceal their identity while on duty. But that's just California, and that's very recent.
I know that. I said identifying
But you said it's
themselves.
illegal.
I
They
said
are
not to
identifying
identify themselves when asked.
I can look that up
That's
too.
what I was talking about.
They're
Can I
in
take a pee
they're
break?
in
I'm sorry.
uniform.
Anyone can have a fake uniform. There's literally
they're
been people
rolling up-
arrested.
People are rolling
There
up
was
in tanks
people-
with fake uniforms.
Someone got arrested for impersonating a cop.
People
Hold on.
get
an
arrested
ICE
for
cop.
impersonating cops, yes.
So yeah, I think it's important to have more than just a mask and an ice
So
thing.
they need to wear no mask and get doxxed by leftists and have their families harassed if they're enforcing the laws of the United States. Brilliant plan.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're causing violent
Typical
situations are
libtard
happening.
No.
Wait, you're saying it's illegal, though.
No,
Oh, you just
that's
have
not
to-
what's
you
going
have to-
on. The leftists are the ones causing the violent situation. They're the ones surrounding federal buildings and committing violent acts and doing everything they can to agitate federal officers. That's what leftists are doing. Tell me this. Why is it that local police officers inside of these various leftist states won't deploy the local police departments to these federal buildings in order to maintain peace and security? It's because the fucking governors of these states and the local mayors of these states give them stand-down orders so that the feds have to deal with them, knowing the feds aren't trained to do that. And so what they're doing is they're sparking incidences on purpose, and that's fucking leftist.
No, I mean, but ICE is like cops are supposed to like if someone's irritated, what do they call it? Sorry, my dyslexia brain. They're supposed to, instead of causing more anger, they're supposed to
De-escalate?
De-escalate. Yeah, they're supposed to de-escalate.
Then have the trained local police do their fucking job. Stop
or
telling
train
them to stand
ICE
down.
better. Like the people
ICE
that got
is not designed to do riot control.
It's not about riots.
Yes, it is.
The people who got killed weren't involved in riots. They went up to them.
Bullshit.
Maced them in the face, got on top of them.
Both of those shootings, both of those shootings was confrontations at protests where these people were going out of.
If you go up to someone who's just standing there,
bullshit.
But they went up to him.
First of all, Renee was blocking off the fucking road. She was told to move. She refused. She hit an ICE agent. She got shot.
Moving.
Yeah, she moved
got
her
shot for
car
moving.
into a fucking ICE agent.
She got shot for moving.
No. Well, hold on. You're forgetting the part where they initially they wanted her to get out of the road, but then she was blocking the road, and then there were a couple different agents. He was approaching her, and he said to exit the vehicle. He was giving her a lawful order to exit the vehicle. Once you're being detained by law enforcement, you don't get to leave anymore. She was being detained.
But you also don't get to shoot them in the face. The more
now they're going to be talking about a very controversial thing right now. The one thing I don't like with these conversations, there are Americans that don't want a lot of foreigners to be sent back home. The ones that are mostly white looking overall. And they will get pushed back. And I think why most Americans, most of the Caucasian ones that these gentlemen call them on the far left will fight against it, because in my opinion, I think they see the bigger picture, that they know that we are treading on real serious thin ice. We're treading in an environment of totalitarianism. I think that's what they call it. Some that deal with all control, where the government runs and controls everything and people got no rights. I think that's why you see Americans like the woman that got her head blown off by the ice, because not only her but certain men believe that if they don't step in and put some pushback to this uncontrolled order, it's eventually going to turn on the American people that are the majority in this country. That's why I think why she did it. That's the only reason why. Because think about it, why would you defend and stop an organization that was developed to send certain people back home? Unless you've seen what the government is doing, something that's dangerous, that you don't want them to start turn their attention to the American people. It's one way or the other. Oh, one person wrote they mostly. Okay. But that's the only assumption I get out of it personally. If you guys disagree or agree, let me know in the chat room. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and let's have the conversation in the chat room. I know this is something different I'm doing, but let's engage. Let's go.
It's that Alex Petty, though. They came up to him. He was just standing there.
No, the opposite. He went towards the officers after they had moved a woman back. He moved towards the officers.
All he did was shield her from Mace. He didn't go up to them to fight.
Guess what? You're not allowed to interfere. You're not allowed to interfere with federal. You're not allowed to interfere with cops in the middle of doing their job.
That's not a death sentence.
Well, here's the thing. Don't resist then. And you won't get killed.
He got maced in the face. 6 people attacked him.
So don't get involved?
While they were like breaking ribs and punching him in the face with a pistol.
Do you know what would have stopped all of that?
You know what stops resisting is not beating someone up.
You know what really stops all of that? If you just let the ICE go get the illegals and throw them out like they're supposed to.
I've got to pee really bad.
But no, we can't do that because that's mean.
I just think they should get better training and there should be consequences.
But my question is, before these 2 incidences, the 2 killings occurred, I guess the genesis of what was happening there is that these ICE officers were conducting lawful investigations. They were doing, like, the baseline. They were protesting their baseline law enforcement activity, which was apprehending illegal immigrants, right? Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like Renee Good and, well, I guess Alex Peretti, that happened after Renee Good. So you could argue he was in the streets because he was upset about Renee Good. In any case, you acknowledge that prior to Renee Good, she was upset with their lawful conduct, which was apprehending illegal immigrants. So why was she interfering? I think that's stupid. Yeah, but why was she interfering with lawful law enforcement operations?
I mean, I think because of, like Obama deported a shit ton of people.
Right, it's completely political.
No.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I think it's the way they're going about it.
Oh, what's the difference?
The masks, the chasing.
They had masks then.
Because
they didn't chase people down the street.
I'm going to tell you right now.
They didn't chase brown people down the street.
I grew up.
They didn't arrest people from the works that were citizens.
Listen.
Even though they.
Oh my God, this is crazy. I grew up in California. Home Depots got raided constantly by ICE. When I was a kid, they were getting raided by ICE. Here's how it used to work. You'd go pull up in front of a Home Depot.
Wearing masks.
You'd pull, and you'd pull up in front of a Home Depot, and you'd go.
Law against it.
Yeah, you'd go 3.
Like
SWAT teams wear masks too. They would go 3, and 3 Mexicans would jump in the back. You take them, they do your day labor, and you drop them back off in front of the Home Depot by 5. That's how people used to do things all the time. ICE knew all about that. They would go do raids on Home Depots. They would do raids in department stores. They do raids at Taco. Hell, when I was a kid, they did a massive task force raid on tons and tons and tons of burger joints like McDonald's and Taco Bell and shit. And we couldn't get hamburgers for like a week because they arrested all the employees. Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody gave a fuck. They only give a fuck now because it's Trump, and that means it's fascism.
I think the whole masks and not providing information, proof that they actually are who they, like, people are like, it's.
Wait, can I ask you a question? Would there be a need for these ICE agents to wear masks if there wasn't a foundational objection from the left to the baseline enforcement objectives that they're trying to see out? So that's just apprehending illegal immigrants. The issue is that the left has an issue with the foundational operational procedures of ICE, which is lawful and legitimate and valid immigration enforcement. So it's just an escalation. So it's like, okay, you have ICE who's trying to enforce immigration law. Leftists don't like it. They're trying to dox these people, ruin their reputation, follow them around while they're conducting lawful operation. Then ICE is like, wow, these people are like basically trying to interfere with us and dox us and find our family and our children. We need to now put in place these things to protect our family. And then you're now using that as further justification to continue your essential bullying of what is otherwise lawful immigration enforcement.
No.
Yes.
Can I explain
Okay.
real fast?
One thing I'll say about these masks and these agents, I'm not really down with the thing with the hiding yourself with mask. Police officers don't hide themselves mask, and they do their jobs well. If you have to put a mask on to do your job, maybe you need to find another job. That's my advice. I'm not really too fond of anybody hiding their identity to do a little small task of extracting people. I'm not really down with that. If it was that bad, I'd rather not even do the job, personally. Anyhow, let's go.
Do you think if question
They
for you.
started off in
question
masks.
for you.
They didn't start wearing
No,
masks.
question for you. If everybody in the country was like 100% okay with the immigration efforts being undertaken by law enforcement, would there be a need for ICE to wear masks?
No, but like.
But why do they wear masks?
Because people don't agree, but doxing wouldn't mean everything.
Not just that they don't agree. What are the actions that these agitators
they're
are
doxing, but doxing doesn't mean anything if you're being illegal. Like if you're being fully transparent and letting people know actually what's going on instead of hiding yourself.
There's videos of them saying, hey, we're about to apprehend a child rapist. And there's literally the activists are like, I don't care. There's videos of this.
Well,
they say, I don't care. We don't care. Even if you're apprehending people who are like child predators, they're like, we don't care. We just don't like that you're part of immigration enforcement.
Oh, yeah, they're dumb. They need to let them do their jobs.
They ran.
But they need to let them do their jobs.
If they let them do their jobs.
Do it without a mask. They need to be accountable.
There wouldn't be a need for them to wear their masks if
they weren't
people
doxing
allowed them to do their job.
Do you realize they were creating apps?
Obama, like, he deported way more people at a faster rate.
Because it wasn't political. This is political.
They didn't wear masks.
It wasn't political. There was no resistance to it.
The ICE officers didn't act the way that they are now.
Yes, they did. What was the difference? What were they doing different? They were going to Home
Wearing
Depot.
Masks, macing babies.
First of all,
they're macing babies.
The very first thing that kicked this off.
I don't think ICE did that before. Can I please?
Wait, hold on. Really quick. There's way more scrutiny on law enforcement ever since like 2020, the BLM George Floyd riots. There's more law enforcement officers at body cams, which
that's great.
Let her pee, Brian.
Yeah.
Go pee.
Yeah. All right, go pee.
I mean, they should have the. I think all.
But I think there's more scrutiny.
There just needs to be more transparency. So
there is transparency. Okay. All right. We have some super chats here. We have Latumio. Brian is scary. Andrew is awesome. Hey, 140. I'll save this for when she's back. The only campaign promise Trump hasn't made good on is term limits in Congress, which is definitely disappointing, but in all other areas, he's mostly kept his word. Thank you, Matt Jacob, for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys, for the messages there. $200 will be TTS. I guess we'll do $100 reads and then $10 and up if you want your message displayed. All right. Well, while we are waiting on that, Erudite tomorrow. Guys, if you're watching the stream, we have Andrew doing a 1v2.
You did? No.
Yeah, it's not easy to.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's not easy to manage. Yeah.
1v2.
You did no. I
talked
mean,
a
when they
little
got to
bit.
the criticisms for whatever, you tangled
I
with
did
them
a
pretty
little
hard.
bit, but yeah, I mean,
Those two degenerate feminists.
that guy still talks shit. By the way, fuck, what's his name? The pillow talk guy or whatever.
Well, yeah, he
shit
got
talking.
wrecked. They talk shit after they get wrecked. That's how it works.
Didn't that guy say something like he was basically trying to do a justification of how it's okay to be immoral or something? I'm trying to remember what he said. It was really bad.
Yeah,
It was really bad.
Yeah, those guys were something else.
Terrible. Wrong way. I know. It's hard to follow instructions that have been repeated 20 times. But
Dude, I have no sleep, ADHD,
I mean,
dyslexia. I'm
didn't you
sorry.
didn't you arrive yesterday or 2 days ago or something?
I have insomnia. It's not easy to manage.
And why did you ask for debate given all these disadvantages?
That's
anyways?
what I mean, because I have a greater
Okay.
message.
All right.
I have just
What
be
did-
transparent.
what did-
That's it.
okay.
They should be more transparent.
All right, here. There's a super chat for you. Can men be women?
No.
Like, is a transgender woman? Is that a male or female?
It's a male.
Okay.
Do you consider them women?
Are transgender?
No,
Are trans?
I don't, but I think they should be able to live their lives however they feel like it.
But like, not. What about sports? Not.
I don't think they should be
Okay,
involved
all right,
in
we're not gonna
sports.
linger there. Here, moving on then. You wrote, you are all about cult. I guess me and Andrew, you are all about culture wars which spread hate and divide our country. You used your show to promote Trump because you're dumb enough to be brainwashed by a con man. Now you're going to have to come to terms with not only helping get a predator criminal, con man, grifter elected, but also with the fact that you will forever look like a dumbass for falling for his bullshit. So you wrote that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It is.
Because, yeah.
What do you mean predator?
Yeah, I was going to ask, what do you mean predator criminal?
I mean, yeah, all things point to that. I mean,
Nothing points to that.
should we bring up all of the things?
Sure.
I mean, just the fact that he said he'd drain the swamp and bring.
That has nothing to do with being a predatory criminal.
He was barred from even having a charity in New York because of a fake charity,
Well,
a
first,
fake
what
university.
do you mean by predatory criminal? What does that mean, predatory?
He's predatory. Like he went into the dressing rooms of Miss Universe where there are minors and
no,
with
Miss USA.
whatever.
No, there's no minors there. That's an adult beauty pageant.
It starts at 16, but also it doesn't matter if it's teenagers dressing and basically bragged about getting a pass because he owns it, that he can go and see all these beautiful women changing and stuff, and he gets a pass.
Yeah, he's running a beauty pageant for beauty and gets to see beautiful. That's crazy to me.
Why would you watching women change?
Oh,
Is not
my Lord.
predatory to you without their consent? What? And like him,
Without their consent?
it's without their consent.
And how many of these beauty queens have come forward and said that Donald Trump was in there spying on them without their consent?
There's a lot of stories from people that said that they stopped going to the pageants because of the
Yeah, name one.
I don't know the
don't know.
names of
Yeah,
them.
you don't know.
I've seen several interviews of how they were treated in the pageant. And it connects with Jeffrey Epstein and the whole modeling world, and it was a different time that there was a lot of there was a lot of creepy shit going on, and several 20.
Again, I don't know what Jeffrey Epstein has to do about this conversation. Do y'all agree that these people are using Jeffrey Epstein today for excuse of many situations going on in regards to this debate between Andrew Wilson? I'm kind of curious. Let me know in y'all chat. All right, let's go.
26 different women came forward saying that they
all frauds.
Oh my God. See, that's where
Damn. These are all frauds. Damn.
See, this is where the Epstein class comes in, is rich people never have consequences for everything, and they say, oh, people are doing it for power, for money, or political reasons. But a lot of these people came forward way before he was political.
Which ones?
The 13-year-old that...
You mean the one that's not credible?
Who proved that she wasn't credible?
The she same did when she retracted her claim.
No, it showed. There's an interview that shows her lawyer saying the reason she retracted is because she's getting threats and is
Oh
scared.
yeah, what's he supposed to say? She retracted because she's a fucking liar. Lawyers don't do
there's
that.
also proof of all of the Epstein survivors that still now
What's the proof?
Getting threatened.
What's the proof that Trump in any way, shape, or form was involved with a cover-up of a pedophilic organization? Because that's where you're going, right?
Because his actions are proof, and he's in there's still just a small portion of.
What's the proof?
Redacting stuff that should not be redacted.
Mostly 90% of the redactions. Plus, you can go to Michael Tracy's Twitter to track this. Most of the redactions in the Epstein files are because victims demand them, and because
that's not what the victims are saying.
Which ones?
For what?
Which ones are even victims? Virginia Giuffre was not a victim.
Yeah, I don't have the...
She claims she was a victim, but she's a chronic liar. She's a fucking chronic liar, and that's
documented. The Republican Party is trying. Yeah, he's legit. He said there was no. What did he say? Accomplices? Not accomplices. What's the word that they're using? Oh, he said that no one else was involved in sex trafficking, and there's proof.
We don't have any evidence of any sex trafficking.
Yes, there is.
Okay, tell me who was sex trafficked.
Their names are redacted.
So your evidence is you don't have evidence.
The evidence is that.
The thing with still they talk about this sex trafficking, right? I hope this guy's not defending Epstein, because has anybody know that Epstein has not been deleted? You guys are aware of that, right? Because of his affiliation to a lot of powerful people, they kind of mask his deletion. And the reason why I say it, because no one has never seen it. We only hear what they tell us, but you don't believe what anybody tell you. You only go by what you see, and that's it. You've never seen him get deleted, obviously, and you know what the circles he was messing with, and the amount of, I guess, dirt he had on. It's very hard to see that he delete himself personally. And what's good to Mr. Jeremy Renner, I think. Let's keep going.
Pam Bondi and what's his name?
Kash Patel.
Kash. They under oath said that there was not any accomplices or a list of any kind. And Thomas Massey says differently. He's seen the files. He said he's willing to say the names.
The same Thomas
himself.
Massey who, along with Ro Khanna, decided that they were going to unredact the names of 4 innocent people, and those innocent people got completely fucking inundated, according to their lawyers, with death threats and everything else, because they were assuming that they were part of a massive pedophilic cult that doesn't exist.
Yeah. The law that they put saying that no people except that were victims, like the women, children, are allowed to be...
What victims?
Don't have to memorize.
Because listen, I'm just going to tell you right now, here's what we have for evidence. You have zero evidence.
Yeah, because Trump's covering it up.
How? How is he covering it up? There's redactions.
Breaking the law of the Epstein Transparency Act.
Here's what Trump's in the files doing. Trump is in the files assisting law enforcement against Ghislaine Maxwell. That's all that he's in the files doing wrong, period. He's assisting law enforcement.
In 2006 or 2007, whenever he made a statement saying, oh, I'm glad, that you're doing this investigation, blah, 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 blah. But
I know why people get in their feelings because Trump is in the files. Ain't nothing going to happen to Trump. And the reason why I say that, because he's the president of the United States. Now, if people want to use that to say, well, this guy was a criminal, he shouldn't be president, you're in the right mind to say that. But the problem is the people have spoken, the people have voted him in. So in regards to any criminal activities that he has shown or what the files have shown, is really non and void at this point, because You can't do nothing about it because he's president. And what are you gonna do? Gonna try impeach him now because he's on the files? Man, give me a break, man. That ain't happening. I can't remember the last time in America an impeachment went through and was successful. Have y'all? I could be wrong, man. Yeah, let's go.
And said he cut off Epstein from his life, but then the Epstein files show that like up to 2016 that he was still in contact and a few times hung out with Epstein. Okay. So
first of all, this is insanity. Let's back up. Let's start with this. Who are you accusing Donald Trump of? Are you accusing him of being a PDF?
I say that there's either he's a pedo protector, which is I would say 99% likely.
Now give me your evidence. Your best piece of evidence. What is it?
His actions, all of the actions.
So what's your best piece of evidence?
Saying that it was a Democratic hoax.
First of all, the Democratic hoax is that they're calling this guy and he knew it, by the way. He knew that the second the files were released, because of all the redactions, Democrats are going to run and say that he's part of a pedophilic ring, even though we have no evidence of that at all.
We don't have the evidence because they won't give it to us.
So wait a second. So you don't know.
I think that protecting pedophiles, hanging out with pedophiles, add all of the women that have came forward.
Which ones? Which ones do you find credible? Which ones?
I find them all credible until we see the file, until we actually see how the investigation actually name them uncredible, because it's the same people.
They did name them uncredible.
The same people who gave Epstein the sweetheart deal.
No,
are those the ones?
No, this is FBI investigators who are investigating this. First of all,
the FBI that lied on the stand
about
there being no co-conspirators.
Who were the co-conspirators?
Massey says there's at least 6 of them that he's uncovered so far.
Okay,
and he's going to name them. It has to be in the Senate to legally name them.
Oh, got it. So there are no co-conspirators that you can name. You just made it up.
Because they won't give them to us. But I listen
to
Thomas Massey and all the other people that have read the files are saying that.
Here's the thing.
And if you take MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene came out.
I know for sure that you're a PDF. I can't prove it, though, because law enforcement won't give me the evidence I need to show you that you're a PDF.
In his own words, through several interviews throughout the years, all of the women that came forward, the girl that said she was threatened.
Which one of those girls do you find the most credible?
I mean, I'd say all of them.
No, which one specifically? Give me one name of any of those girls that you found credible.
I don't know their names.
You don't know anything about it?
Katie Johnson.
You don't know nothing about it again.
What? Do you have every name memorized?
I don't need to. I'm not making the claim.
I'm following the actual evidence that
what evidence?
He's covering up for his friends.
Show me the evidence. Where is it? Where can I look at it?
The lies.
What lies?
Not that there even is co-conspirators. That there is that. Yeah.
So your evidence
saying that
is no evidence.
Said he never went on the plane. He said he lost. He banned Epstein from...
He did ban Epstein from his properties. Not only that, he worked with law enforcement.
He didn't work with them. He made a statement. Which someone who's covering up would do exactly that.
Yeah, why didn't Biden release the Epstein files?
Yes, he's directly involved with that. No, he's not a pedo. There's no proof of that yet.
There's no proof that Trump is. You just made it up.
I didn't make it up.
You made it up.
Women who have come forward who said he did the same.
And which ones did you find the most credible?
The girl that retracted her statement.
You found her, and why did you find her credible? The one who retracted her sworn statement?
Because she was a minor and it directly involved Epstein as well.
Hang on. Did she make the claims when she was a minor? Did she make the claims when she was an adult, when people were getting millions of dollars in cash settlements when they said that they were a victim of Jeffrey Epstein?
Oh, actually, new evidence have came out that have directly correlated her suing the Epstein estate around the time the claims were made and it being settled. I don't know if you've read that.
Again.
So, yeah, if she sued the Epstein estate and won during that time period...
nothing. There was all kinds of...
If there was no proof of that, then why would they have settled?
There was all kinds of settlements which came out of the Epstein saga. But here's what did not come out of the Epstein saga, at least thus far. There is not a single shred of evidence that Donald Trump participated in any sort of sexual activity with any minors at all, nor that he was part of some PDF ring, nor that there even was a PDF ring. And you know what evidence you have for this? Here's the evidence you have for this.
Emails.
I don't have evidence.
There's a lot of the emails that point to
emails?
that.
Which things?
Can we look it up? Do you think I have it all memorized?
Go ahead. I actually want you to. We can go through them one at a time. You could show me the best evidence you have that Donald Trump's a PDF.
I didn't say there's direct evidence of it.
So no evidence.
He's at the.
So he's a PDF, but you have no evidence he's a PDF.
Okay. First of all, it's very hard to prove if someone raped you or not. If you compare it to murder cases, where there's what they call it the what's the type of evidence? Sorry, my brain's circumstantial evidence. You can be convicted of murder without any actual DNA, without.
That's nice. What's the most credible piece of evidence you have Donald Trump's a PDF?
The women's statements that are connected to it. Him being liable of rape through him being liable, his own words of how he talks to women. Him being held liable of rape. The way he specifically liable of SA. Yes, he was by our courts.
You know what? I'll just grant you that Donald Trump has graped 300 women. Let's say he's graped them. He just did. I'm just gonna logically. I'll just say he did. What's your best piece of evidence that Donald Trump is a PDF and did anything?
I don't know for sure he was a PDF, but I know he's a pedo protector.
Okay, show me how he's protecting PDFs.
God damn it, this is getting really ridiculous now. Baby, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. You can't really prove it on air. They want you to substantiate your evidence. I mean, so you need to find people, some articles and something that proves that this man is a pedo protector and all that nonsense. It's not worth it, baby. Just give it up. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. You sound weak now. All right, let's go.
Literally, the proof is what's happening with Epstein files.
What?
And the email.
What's the proof?
Him lying about him saying that he was gonna be transparent, bring the Epstein files out.
He has brought the Epstein files out.
After being forced by, there was enough votes to where even if he didn't.
Dan Bongino becomes the assistant deputy director of the FBI. He comes out, right? He's done now. He's back on his podcast. He says, you know why there's all these redactions? The victims want it. There's porn in it, right? And lawyers are suing for it. So what are you talking about?
Well, lawyers suing doesn't make it against the law.
Yeah, they can tie up redactions forever because they're victims.
If there's, they're supposed to, of course, edit out the people that are the victim, like the female.
And all sorts of information, which can point to what their identity is, which would be a massive redaction.
No, that's why you
look. I would love it. I would love it if you redacted. If they had unredacted files and could release them, I would love that. I would adore it.
There's proof that they're redacting people that were guys that have nothing to do with the
I'll tell you what.
survivors.
Let's try this instead of the conspiratard shit. Let me just ask you this.
It's not conspiracy.
Okay, name one of these people who you think is currently in government, who's a PDF because of the Epstein files that you've read.
I think they're pedo protectors.
Name one. No. That's not what I asked you. Name one who's a PDF. Which PDFs are they protecting?
I didn't say that there is any.
Which PDFs are they protecting?
The Epstein class.
Who are they?
They're donors.
What are their names? Nothing.
Should I bring up the list?
Go ahead.
I don't have their.
And then show me your most compelling piece of evidence that they're a PDF. Go ahead.
Are they a PDF,
They're
baby?
living in the midst of a left-wing disinformation campaign,
Right. Literally,
which
the
is
rights
claiming.
what about
it's amazing to me,
MTG is saying the same thing.
The left-wing,
So
MTG, who left disaffected from Donald Trump. She was all sorts of pissed off because she wasn't his golden girl.
She left because she realized it was all a lie.
Fucking
and that
cope.
He's covering
It's MTG
for
cope.
pedos.
And not only that, let's point this out.
funny.
It's really funny to me that suddenly, the left left is so concerned about supposed baby eating and baby killing. It's like they do that every day. That's what the left does. They kill untold swaths of children. And suddenly, Trump's at the head of a baby killing, baby molesting,
I think
fucking
that
empire.
People are more aware of, I mean, I don't know about that conspiracy, but I think people are more aware that both sides have been propagandaed and we've all been lied to, or both sides can agree.
Name for me the strongest piece of evidence that you have that Donald J. Trump ever did anything like this with children. Anything.
I didn't say there was actual.
Then why do you say you're leaning
the
towards him being a
circumstances
PDF?
point to that.
No, they don't.
If a sheep.
None of the circumstances point to that.
If a dude surrounds himself by sheep fuckers,
So if he's surrounded by PDFs, name those people.
Well, he was friends with Diddy. He was friends with Epstein.
You mean Diddy? I'm sorry. Was Diddy charged with being a PDF? Convicted of being a PDF? No.
People came forward about it.
And then he went to trial. And then what happened? What happened at Diddy's trial? What did he get charged? What did he get convicted of?
Sending sex workers across state lines. And stuff
So
like
nothing
that.
to do with children.
Well, all I have to say is if you, if you surround
name
yourself
one of these
with
PDFs. Name one he's surrounding himself with. Who? You got to Google it.
Jeffrey Epstein. You told me to find them.
Jeffrey Epstein was not convicted of being a PDF. What are you talking about? Neither was Ghislaine Maxwell. They were convicted of trafficking prostitutes.
A minor is not a prostitute.
A minor's also not a prepubescent child. And yes, it's true that Jeffrey Epstein should have been convicted for doing the trafficking to himself of people who were being recruited at a local high school to have sex with him. Totally agree with that. But this idea that there's this massive...
Their emails show that.
The emails don't show that.
Yeah, they do.
Then show me them. Show me the best piece of evidence you have that Donald J. Trump is part of a PDF protection ring and who the PDFs in this ring are. Who are they? Nothing.
I'm trying to look it up,
Yeah,
but
you
every
gotta
time
look
I
it
do,
up.
you keep saying more shit.
You got to look it up because you don't have the facts on your side.
What do you mean? The facts on my side
The facts on your
show
side
that he's hiding shit.
It's just pure incredulity. You have no evidence.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid because you
All
have
of
no evidence at all.
Because they're covering it.
Oh, because it's a big cover-up. Well, that's an unfalsifiable
Literally,
position.
the people who have seen the files are saying that, yeah, they freaking
UFOs are real, but I can't prove it because they're covering it up. The government's covering it up.
Literally, the people who have seen the unredacted files say that there's at least 6 people so far that were involved.
Mm-hmm. So therefore, it's true.
There needs to be an investigation.
Oh, okay. You can investigate it. Go investigate it. Even though that's what all of the files are, is investigations. That's what all of them are. And do you think they're going to unredact the victims' names? Do you think they're going to unredact most of these things?
Name. I think that things didn't get investigated properly because
how do you
they
know?
were
You don't even know
paid
the
off.
details of any of the investigations. You don't even know the details of the investigations.
And the email showed a.
Yeah, Andrew's wasting his time going back for this lady. She's not gonna really. She doesn't really know what she's talking about. She's not sure. All she is certain is about there was Epstein files put out there, and mind you, they did not put the full documents, research, spies, tapes, etc., all in paper form for the public. They said it was like 6 million of documents that they've been keeping tabs on Epstein for decades. And the American people only got roughly half, and barely get half if you can go through it. So for her to sit there speculating, right, someone's name, then read what was about, and she's not really sure herself what she's saying, or sure about the files in its entirety. That's the vibe I'm getting. But what's your opinions? I know you guys in the chat room listen to this bullshit. Let me hear y'all expressions. Give your thoughts now in the chat room. I'll read it. Let's go.
Originally, that there was 10 co-conspirators, and it said where they're living, and that they were doing subpoenas and all of this crap.
Okay, let's back up. Okay, what was Epstein actually charged with? Do you even know?
like sex trafficking of some
Do you know any of the specifics of the case?
No.
What about
I know
Ghislaine?
of the case. I don't know
Ghislaine
the exact-
Maxwell. Do you know any of the specifics of the case?
She mostly trafficked the girls to Epstein, but a few times I think she actually did touch the girls.
Okay. Do you know the details of her case?
Like what, the raping the girl?
No,
or?
anything. Just give me any of the details of these. Do you know?
Like,
Do you even know where
what
this
girls?
occurred? Like where the Epstein stuff occurred?
I mean, some are on the island, some are in New York, some are in his office.
It's all in Florida, basically.
I
Yeah.
wasn't done speaking, but it's literally all over the place. It wasn't just
Really?
island.
So what was he charged with?
I don't know the
You don't know.
name of the exact
you don't know,
charge.
You don't know anything about any of these
It's so
cases.
stupid.
You don't know anything
Yes,
about what's
I-
going on in the
yes,
files.
I
you don't know
do.
anything about any of these
Yes,
cases.
I do.
Okay, well then, give me your most compelling piece of evidence.
Every time I keep trying to look up,
You have to Google the evidence that you
I
know
don't
so
have
well.
every freaking name of the people they've uncovered.
You don't have any names.
Bill Clinton was there. There's no proof that he did anything. I don't know the names. Let me look up the name. I don't have it memorized. Doesn't make it untrue that I don't have these douchebags' names memorized.
No, I'm not even asking you for that. I asked you for the details of the cases, what your most compelling evidence is, anything you can reference. You got nothing. What you have is, I was on
if
X.
you've read all of the emails, it shows
I was
exactly
on-
what's happening.
I was on X.
Oh my God. I don't use X.
Here, well, I'm glad you asked. You want to know what
I don't use
happened?
X.
What happened is a woman named Virginia Giuffre.
I know her.
Okay, do you know that she's a chronic serial liar and that her story has more holes in it than Swiss cheese? She claims that she was trafficked by her dad, completely completely unverified. Claims that she was
Unverified is
raped.
not a lie.
Claims that she was raped by two men, falsely accused them of it.
How do you know it's false?
Because the police investigated it, determined it was consensual. She's made rape allegations multiple times. She's had to retract. Okay, she claimed that Epstein's lawyer raped her and then had to retract that too. She had to retract that Dershowitz did this to her. And then she said later, well, the thing is like I was just confused because I was just raped by so many. She claimed she was with him for 4 years. She wasn't with him for 4 years. That would have been completely impossible, right? You don't know anything about this. You should it's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. Oh, it's embarrassing for you.
I don't find it embarrassing.
That you don't know
What I
anything
find
about what you're
embarrassing is
talking
you're
about?
sticking up for administration who's obviously lying to us
just
and
using
not following
evidence.
they're not following the law that they were instructed to do, are they? They lied about there being co-conspirator.
What laws are they? What laws?
The Epstein Transparency Act says it doesn't matter if it embarrasses them or that they can only redact the actual victims' names. And they're going against that. And they're also not, they're not, and they have to redact like the photo of someone actually.
They're going to keep on doing these dumps. They're going to keep
Are
on.
they?
Yes, they will.
They said that they were done, and this is the end of it.
There's going to be more.
Well,
and
they
by the
said
way,
that was it.
Let me
That's
point.
all.
Let me point this out to you too. Right? You don't even know what's in them. All you've seen is what the dummies are
What do you
posting
mean?
on X.
I don't use X. First of all, I've read a lot of these emails.
Okay, which
There's
ones
like
did
torture.
you find?
There's like a torture thing where they talk about like a 9-year-old. There's what?
You don't know.
What do you mean?
It's just nothing. Now, that's the thing is like
I don't have it all memorized. I read. I didn't read the entire.
People speak so much on things that they just clearly don't know shit about. Like you don't know anything about the Epstein case. Nothing.
What do you mean? I literally get updates on all the files all the time and read through what the updates are.
Then how
what
come
they
you don't know?
found.
You're not familiar with any of the content of it.
My brain doesn't memorize things easily. That's
Then why do you read if you can't maintain any of it?
I don't read. I watch the videos and then I read what they found and fact check it because my brain.
What's the point if you can't remember it?
My brain processes stuff through videos because it's a dyslexic.
That's fine.
thing.
Look, not everybody is going to read something and then memorize it. Sure, you can use video, but what's the point of doing that if you can't remember the details of any of the things that you just watched?
I don't have their names memorized.
I'm not even asking for names, details of the case. What are they charged with? What are the details around the one who spawned all of this, which is Virginia Giuffre? What? You don't know any of it. And it's like, what a waste of time. Anyway, I'm going to go have a smoke.
Literally.
Very, very demoralizing. Very much headaches. I'm not a smoker, but I want to smoke after all this shit. I swear, I don't know if I could be a debater, man, against women like this, man, or just in general, because this takes a lot out of you guys to sit there to debate your talking points, debate your facts. Are they facts? Is it fact or is bullshit? You always put on the microscope to really hold claim to what you know or don't know. Why you believe this? Why you know this? Why do you come to the conclusion you come to now? Is your own thoughts, or is something that someone's telling you what to think? These are the things that I don't like going back and forth with some women when they go in their feelings more than anything else. And you can tell she didn't want to say the word feelings, because amongst men in these type of discussions, we don't go by the feelings, we go by the logic. That's how it goes. So let's continue listening to this bullshit. Let's go.
Oh,
I mean, I'm supposed to have all of these memorized when there's like millions upon millions of documents that I'm reading every day. I'm supposed to like.
I don't know. That conversation is not my. I don't know anything. I don't really know much about it. I can't really speak on it. I think Andrew was just looking for, like, what's the evidence? That he was looking for the evidence.
The evidence. I never said that. The evidence that he's covering shit up, I think, is there.
I think Andrew's frustration might have just been, at least he was looking for evidence, like what is Trump's involvement in all that. And again, I'm not an expert in this, so I don't know the details.
He's involved in covering it up at the very least.
But so what's the evidence for that?
Him calling it a Democrat hoax and saying that he doesn't want you to even follow him anymore. And every time the Epstein files are brought up, he like wants people to shut up about it. He lied about what was in the files, and many times he lied about his relationship with Epstein, because there's now proof out that their communication and stuff did not end when he said it did. He lied about being on the plane, all kind. I think
I don't know the details of it.
But like his own staff lied about.
But hold on, really
his
quick.
staff lied on the stand.
Logically, can somebody lie about something, but they not be guilty of like a different, unrelated crime?
Yeah, I mean that's why I said at minimum he's covering up.
If Trump has lied, is that evidence of like something else sinister? Or also, by the way, sometimes either misremembering things or, isn't necessarily a lie.
Yeah, but I think,
like, if I were to say,
but if he said he lost communication in 2008 and it comes out that he was hanging out with Trump in 2016, I think that's a pretty big lie.
But if somebody said, like, have you ever hung out with somebody by the name of Quincy Smith?
And you don't remember them, I get where you're going.
Look, again, I don't know how to parse all that stuff. It's not really a focus of my attention, but it does occur to me that if somebody could approach me and like interrogate me and be like, do you ever recall meeting, somebody by the name of Jackson McDougal? And I'd be like, no. Well, hold on. Here's a photo of you with Jackson McDougal 20 years ago at some frat party. And I'd be like, okay.
Yeah,
I
get that.
I don't know.
As someone who's very forgetful, obviously,
I don't know about.
I think it's a pretty big lie to cover up several years of relationship, pretend you're never on the plane. I think, and then trying to, all of the rest of it, all directions point to that he's covering up.
There is that
several
video.
people on his staff were found to be in the Epstein files too.
I don't know. There is that. I guess anyways, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll move it on to a different
Well, look,
topic.
I'm just sick of this narrative that lefties have that Donald
Not just
Trump is a PDF and he's protecting PDFs, and they never have any fucking evidence. They can never point to anything. And the best that they can come up with is Andrew must be protecting PDFs because he says there's no evidence DGT ever did anything with children, and there's not.
If there was no evidence, then why didn't he just release the files?
He can't. You can't unilaterally do it.
It just the law says you have to redact the names.
Here's the other thing. Let's say that he's hiding them for some reason we don't know. Let's just say that he is, right? Yeah. The absence of evidence is not evidence for you that Trump ever did anything with anybody. And I'm tired of the libtards doing everything they can do to pretend like they didn't have fucking presidents before who had access to these same files, refused to release them.
They're involved in it too.
Oh yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
That's what the deep state is.
Yeah. So here's the thing that's going on, right? You don't have any evidence that Trump was part of any pedophilic ring. You don't have any evidence that Trump's a PDF. You don't have nothing,
pedos.
And you're not even familiar with the files.
Yes, I am. I've
no, you're not.
Literally stayed up to date with all the information just because
but you
I don't
know any of it.
Yes, I do.
Okay, whatever you say. The thing is,
let me let this chat come through.
Letomio donated $200 to prove I'm not stupid and show Andrew my support. Love you, man. You are the closest to Charlie to me.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Letomio.
Now, for the whatever audience, so that we're clear on my position here, I would love if all the files came out unredacted. I think that would be great. Okay, but here's the thing. In the interim time, you're not going to come to me with zero fucking evidence and say that the president's a PDF, because the left has been running this gambit for the last year straight with no proof, and that is an op, and it's a disinformation campaign. And so when I put these people to the...
See, this is the bullshit I'm talking about. You're yawning. Why are you yawning? It's not that serious, girl. And the man see I have no proof, no proof. Move on. God damn it. Fuck.
Question, the reason that I do it as aggressively as I do is to prove they have nothing from which to base this on. Zero. It's all just, well, we don't have evidence, so therefore it's true. And it's fucking crazy.
No,
vibes,
there's how many women have come forward, and how many creepy statements has he made? He admitted to barging.
Tell me the woman who came forward who you think is the most credible, please.
I think because of the massive amounts of people that have came forward, there needs to be further investigation.
Celebrities have women who accuse them of
all
this
of the
all
lies,
the time.
plus of the people who are pedos that he's hung out with, several of them which have been found to be in the Epstein files. I think if you hang out with pedos...
Well, which ones are the pedos he's hanging out with?
There's no direct evidence because we don't...
Then why do you keep saying he's hanging out with pedos?
Because he's hanging out with all the people listed in the files. He's trying to keep more evidence of what actually happened away from the public. He's lied about his relationship with Trump after he was already convicted.
So let me make sure I got this right.
He said he cut off Epstein for being creepy. But then there's proof that he was still like...
So let me just
chill
make sure,
with Trump in with Epstein in 2016.
Can I just make sure I got this right? Trump's a PDF. You have no evidence that he's a PDF. Trump hangs out with PDFs. You can't name a single... Hang on. You can't... Stop. You can't name a single PDF he's hanging out with. Your evidence that he's hanging out with PDFs is that you don't have any evidence that he's hanging out with PDFs. And your evidence that he is a PDF is that you don't have any evidence he's a PDF. Brilliant leftist.
Dude, I'm...
Brilliant.
So fucking dumb.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm the one who's so fucking dumb.
Circumstantial evidence can get you convicted of murder.
That does, it can. That's true.
Grape is like pretty much the only exception to where like the laws are different, where you can't have someone say, this is the person who did it to me.
So believe all women?
Don't believe all women. I think...
So believe women based on evidence?
Yeah.
Okay, then give me your most compelling piece of evidence from one of these women.
There's of what, Trump?
Yeah.
Most of them said that he didn't do anything of them. What I'm mostly saying is that we need I said it, most likely he's a pedo protector, but if he didn't have anything to hide, then, and all of these 26 women are
No,
false.
but you
and
referred to him as a predator criminal.
I think it's predatory to speak about dating.
I think it's predatory to call the president PDF with zero evidence, but why
It's
not?
predatory to say I'm going to be dating you in 10 years to a 10-year-old. I think it's predatory to go into locker rooms where teenagers are changing.
Show
How
me
is
the
that not
locker rooms where there was
predatory?
teenagers he walked into that were changing.
He admitted to it.
Can you tell me what? Can you tell me
It
a
was
single
at- it
locker
was
room he
at
walked
his-
into where teenagers were changing?
Yeah, it was his.
The Trump campaign does deny it, by the way. They denied the allegations.
He literally said it.
He said something on Howard Stern
About the
but
Miss USA pageants.
Yeah,
He wasn't saying
admitted
anything
to
about
it.
teenagers.
it was,
There are
wait,
teenagers, and it's
contestants.
without consent.
But it was contestants who alleged that Trump entered changing rooms while they were undressed.
No.
But Trump's
He
campaign
said it.
denied the allegation.
But he said it on Howard Stern
fine.
before
He said
AI
it.
existed.
Yeah, let's just grant it.
that not predatory?
Let me just grant it. Let's just grant that Trump used to like to peep at women at the beauty pageants and watch them change. Okay.
And then add all
What's
of the women.
most credible woman
The girl
who
that-
has accused him of SA?
The girl that won civically about SA in court.
Who?
I don't remember her name.
You don't-
The
okay.
girl that got finger banged.
Oh, you mean
And-
the one who named her cat Vagina and is a lunatic?
Well, the courts
Whose name, of course, you don't know. Yeah.
Dude, I don't remember stuff that way. What I do remember is the details of what she alleges happened and who she told people about.
move it on.
Who she,
There was not a single piece of evidence.
the court-
That was a Mickey Mouse ass trial.
our peers followed
They
the
went-
evidence and voted in her favor.
No. First of all, they didn't find him guilty of a single crime. What happened?
Liable is
he
different
got-
than guilty.
It was a process thing in civil
process.
liability,
It's
which is
called
easy
liability.
to prove. And by the way, she had all sorts of coaching. She's a lunatic.
what
She said
lawyers
that
do is
grape was
coaching.
sexy.
No, she didn't say
Yes,
grape.
she did.
See, you're taking her words and mixing it. She said men think that way. If you watch the full interview, she
I watched the interview.
She said that it's sexualized and
And she's
in today's
crazy.
society.
That woman is crazy as shit. And
Well, the
no.
courts disagree.
And even
so-
then, right? What is the most that had nothing to do with the Epstein files? What is the most compelling evidence that you can cite in the Epstein files that trumps a PDF? What?
I said most likely that I said predator. I never said PDF.
You did. You said it. I'm leaning towards he is.
Due to the circumstances of the way he speaks about minor women, the way he barged in on teenagers, all of the women who have come forward, and then the fact that he's lying about what's in the Epstein files, telling his base, I don't want you to follow me if
So your most
if you-
compelling piece of evidence, you don't have any evidence. Okay.
No, literally, there's proof in the files that he kept communicating with Epstein and hung out with him in 2016, that he lied about being
Even
on
if
the...
that was all true, what's the most compelling piece of evidence?
He's a pedo protector, and he has predatory behavior.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
It is. You said let's give you that. Him barging in on naked women is predatory. I never said he rapes little kids. I never said that. He's at least covered.
I did not know Donald Trump was barging in naked rooms with women. I mean, that's some new information to me. Is this true? Anybody could verify this in the chat room? I did not know about that crap. Was this recent? That's some new information. What the hell? Anyhow, let's go.
Covering up for
Are we
them.
moving on?
Yeah, we can move on to the next
Can I have
thing.
you tilt your mic down and straighten it for me? Tilt it down. There you go. Okay. Here, you
It's
said
just like talking point, just lefty talking point
Yours
after
is just
lefty
talking point too.
you wrote here. There's a great awakening happen. Everyone is done with culture wars and bullying each other. We are going to come together to fight the corruption. Bullying is out. Identity politics is out. Blaming each other for our government's corruption is out. And soon, if you, me, Brian, don't change your angle, you'll be out too. Hope you have some savings. LOL. So that was just you hoping that I come into financial ruin.
I don't hope that happens.
You said hope you have some savings to indicate
I hope
that,
you do have savings.
I guess because
These are unrelated.
the dating discussion
I like
shows.
Brian.
Okay, whatever. You also wrote, look at Candace and Tucker. They stopped engaging in culture wars, accepted they were wrong, and now we're at the top. But you had a chance to talk about real issues and stop the bullshit.
That's why
And
I was mad. You left me on red.
And now you're destined to be a has-been, LOL. Destined to be a has-been, okay?
Well, eventually, when
I mean, who are you? A never has been? A nobody?
no,
I don't know.
my point of all of that is we can all agree that we've all been propagandized, and podcasts fell for that propaganda on both sides, and you contributed to what's happening now, and so many other people did, and like the majority, I watch a shit ton of right wing, majority of them agree that they were wrong. And
About what?
About trying to elect Trump?
yeah, that they got bamboozled.
Should I have pushed
No.
for Kamala?
No, I think they both
So
sucked,
who should have?
but I think of the
pushed for?
people that
Also, it's a bit of a post hoc
I think
justification. All
that
these new revelations.
I think that the people who keep fighting for Trump, even though there's 1,000 things, like everything he campaigned on for the most part, other than
I think-
the border, like he's
I think
basically
he should
flip
go
flopped
harder on
on.
immigration. To be honest, I think he's not doing enough on immigration.
I think for the amount of money that we're paying for extra money for ICE, he should be pulling higher numbers considering
Yeah, it'd be nice to deport more people.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have to pay all this extra money because the other administrations...
they weren't doing anything.
They deported way more.
Because they had an open border and more came in.
Well, you think, but somehow there's... Wait, so where are all of these people that came in if they can't find them?
They're
But
stopping.
all of the other administrations
First of all, they're being
found them.
stopped at the border, and the second is
That's great.
there's way less border crossings because Trump will collect their ass and deport them.
Yes, I give him credit. That's great. But
Sorry, got to move on.
What?
Hey, it is what it is for the sake of time. You also said, congrats, you're now in my top 5 douchebag YouTubers. You listed it. Andrew Tate, Ben Shapiro, Andrew Wilson, me, and Brian Atlas. And then Nick Fuentes. And then you said, congrats, you're more douchey than Nick Fuentes.
I said that because at least Nick keeps it real. My issue is
You call him a douchebag, and now he keeps it real.
He keeps it real, but he's
well,
a douchebag.
he may have douchey. My issue was at the time is I felt like
There's a lot of feelings.
Okay, go ahead.
my
Finish this.
observation is that
I what?
is that like you had all these talking points for MAGA, and when to get him Trump elected and all of this stuff, but there's certain people in the mainstream.
Okay.
Well, I
Me
mean,
and Andrew
you weren't
did-
that much,
me
but
and Andrew did an election night stream.
Yeah, well, it's more like
That was mostly
the
it.
same questions that everyone else on the right was saying, which did contribute to more
What questions?
about.
What is a woman? Was that Trump propaganda?
No. Let me continue what I was saying. Is that there's certain people.
Don't worry, just focus. Focus.
I'm trying to, but every time I'm trying to get to a point.
Miss Yawn, every time Andrew's
freaking
cooking,
tired.
you just yawn. Okay, go ahead,
Tired.
continue.
I'm not trying
And
to
you look there, you're looking.
Dude, like this is my brain. I'm not trying to.
It's okay, go ahead. Hey, wait.
Every time I'm trying to say something, you're interrupting me back. I've been trying to be better about not interrupting, but every time I'm about to freaking say something, you have to say more shit until I forget what the fuck I'm saying.
I'll move it on.
No, see, exactly.
Well, you lost your train of thought. It happens to the best of us.
Dude, but you want me to answer. You haven't even got me to let me answer what I was saying.
It's prattle.
No, you haven't even let me answer.
I'd let you answer.
No,
I'd let
I
you
never
answer.
even got to my full
You
point
answer.
before you keep interrupting
full
it.
point? Okay, well, just for sake of time,
Trying
I'm
to
moving on.
explain-
About the Nick Fuentes thing, blah, blah, blah.
Because
Trump
first of all, Nick Fuentes literally.
Well, we're not talking about Nick at this moment.
It's
no
because
L.
what I was trying to get at is I wanted to talk about real things and have real people on the podcasts. And every time I brought up James Tallarico, you shot it down. And
I didn't shot it
and
down.
then
I just had no idea who
after
the guy
the Trump. And after Trump became president, I don't see anything talking about what actually is happening in the administration that could be bad for Trump. And you helped him get elected. The majority of everyone else who helped him get elected are now.
I have a dating podcast. I did an election night stream with Andrew. And look, I lean conservative, but my dating podcast is not. I don't know how. Okay.
Well,
I mean, I'm
my
conservative,
issue is that, when I see people, let's say him.
Do you think Kamala would have been better than Trump?
I think
Like,
it would have.
What were our choices?
Both should. I think that Kamala would have been like another Biden. Too many people would have came
Should have
in,
been worse.
but
It would have been fucking terrible.
yeah, I don't.
And also,
To do a pause for a second, and guys, make sure you like the stream and share the stream if you want to. At least this high IQ lady is honest. If Kamala was in office, it would not be no better because she's gonna follow the same orders and rules from Biden, which AKA Biden's taking orders from somebody else. So yeah, kudos to her that she agrees that, Kamala is not even better. So I'm not sure who she would pick. I think she picks the couch. What y'all thoughts? Do you think she chose the couch instead, vote what is considered less two evils? I think she chose the couch, in my opinion. I think she picked the couch, but let's listen to more.
I've seen a lot of free speech has opened up quite a bit since.
What about TikTok and what about the FCC and TikTok is now censoring Epstein, Trump, the border. No, don't say I'm all over the place when I'm bringing up a valid point about censorship. But every time I have a good point, you say moving on.
All these platforms, like from 2000 to 2024, there was like massive amounts of censorship on these platforms.
Yeah.
Luckily, since Trump term 2, actually quite a lot of these platforms kind of opened themselves up a bit in terms of their moderation policies. Massive broadening of free speech acceptance here.
Well, that's great. What about TikTok?
What about it? TikTok's a left-leaning platform.
No, TikTok, whoever bought it is like
okay, well, I know the changes
aligned with Trump, and the recently changes.
There's still more leftists on there.
They're censoring the leftists.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Lady, I go on TikTok and deal with more leftists probably than any right-wing personality.
They're censoring certain subjects like Epstein and...
Yeah, okay, YouTube censors certain subjects too.
There's less free speech now that it's been bought than there was with China.
There's more free speech.
There's more free speech
I'm talking about TikTok. And then him going after... like suing literally everybody, and then the FCC, they wouldn't let James Tallarico on what's it called, whatever late night, not Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, the FCC said that they couldn't have him on
because of the
fairness and
the Fairness Act. And
but
who wanted
that's
that?
not a law.
Who wanted that?
I don't know, but that's not even the law.
That's leftists who wanted the Fairness Act.
Yeah, but it's not a law for talk shows. And they're not going after Fox and literally, it's not for talk shows.
Wasn't that a policy? Wasn't that a policy?
It changed, but the policy hasn't changed back. You can't make threats and tell people they can't have them on if you haven't changed the policy.
Wasn't that Stephen Colbert said that that was his company who was like, look, the FCC came in? Yeah.
His company said that the FCC told him not to, and his company has to get approved to buy.
Maybe leftists won't get into the Fairness Act anymore then, because they're the ones who push for all that shit.
There's, and then him calling his administration saying there's a difference between hate speech and speech, and saying that they're going after people who use hate speech. Is
you mean
kind
like
of censoring.
the Israeli thing?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, too. They're not allowing college students.
Now that's a point that I'll grant you. I will grant you.
The colleges thing is crazy.
I will grant you a point that it is bullshit, absolute fucking bullshit, to say that that it's the case that if you're anti-Israel, you're going to get deported or, something like this. That's all fucking bullshit. And I did think that saying Zion Dawn then was a reasonable thing to do to push that administration back away from it. But while I can grant some of these criticisms, right, as being valid, like that criticism, I had it myself, right?
Yeah.
I'm not blind. But the thing is like, I'm still not going to let you call the guy a fucking PDF because that's bullshit.
I didn't call him a PDF. I called him a predator.
Or protecting a PDF.
I said predator, did I not?
And I'm not going to allow you to besmirch him on great policies like what's going on with ICE based on the fact that people got killed who were going out of their way to agitate
Is
them.
it a great policy if we're spending extra money to deport less people? And then killing people?
Did you say spending less
money?
money?
Sorry, spending more money to deport less people. Is that a good policy?
We're spending more money for border security.
What about ICE?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you fact check that?
Yeah, you can fact check it.
It's okay.
You can look it up.
Go ahead. But yes, the truth of the matter is that the amount of border crossings have gone way down.
I grant that. That's great.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, with everything else that's going on, everyone else seemed to deport more people without
and
violence
the left is doing everything they can to tie every case up they can in court. They do everything that they can, so the government has to spend all this money in court fighting with the lefties.
Well, that's due process, dude.
It's not due process, it's obstruction. It's literally obstructionist leftist policy. They didn't give a shit under Biden.
ICE is literally going to courthouses and arresting people during their court hearings.
Good.
While they're doing the right thing by going about the right way.
That's not the right way.
Following the law.
No, the right way would not be coming here in the first place. That would be the right way.
The wrong way would not be showing.
First of all, these fucking people show up. They apply for amnesty when they know they don't qualify for it. They take advantage of the catch and release. They take advantage of everything they can possibly take advantage of.
You would do the same. Doesn't make.
Whether I would or not, I also assume that the country that I was trying to get into would do the same as my country is and throw my ass out.
Yeah, that's what they would get to, but we have due process, and taking them out.
Do illegal immigrants have due process?
In certain ways. While they're in court, they're not listening to the judge's stance on it. They're literally picking them up from the courthouse while they're trying to do the right thing, the American way, and they're arresting them.
That's not the right thing. The right thing is not to come here illegally and then retroactively apply to stay. That's not the right thing. That's the wrong thing. So I don't know. It's like, oh, we're doing the right thing. It's like, no, you're really not doing the right thing. You're doing the wrong thing.
Well, I think they're also doing the wrong thing by going ahead of the
Why even
courts.
have a border? Should we just open the border?
No.
Well, why not? Because everyone would want to come. And you just said like that you would want to come.
Strong border security.
But why?
Because if there's too many people, then yeah, we're obviously fucked.
So grab them and throw their asses back in their country?
Yeah, with due process. What the
They're
fuck?
using The problem is that you can obstruct to the point of absurdity using paper warfare, using left-wing NGOs, which they do, in order to perform paper warfare to stop even the most hardened criminals from getting deported.
Well, I mean, I think that's an issue with the system itself, not, that needs to be changed.
It's left-wing terrorists like Antifa.
Oh my God.
You can roll your eyes, but they're terrorists, allocated as terrorists. They have been declared terrorists because that's exactly what they are.
Everyone who says they don't like fascism is a terrorist, or what?
That's not what Antifa is. Antifa utilizes the idea of unorganization while they are secretly organizing. They use signal apps. They use all sorts of different things. We've watched these protests live on my channel many, many, many times. You can literally watch them as they coordinate. You can watch as people come over and give interviews, and most of them aren't even from the state. They're from 3 neighboring states over. They're there whipping mobs up in front of federal buildings to obstruct ICE from doing its job for no reason.
Well,
just Trump's a fascist. That's it.
Where are all these signal chats and stuff, though?
Well, first, you can go right this second to Cam Higbee. He has an X account. Go to Cam Higbee.
I don't have it.
He went in and infiltrated the signal chats at these various locations.
Has that been verified?
Yes. Not only verified, but easily. You can verify it right now. You can read the chats for yourself.
I'm not saying that people aren't doing that, but I mean, it happens literally yeah, on both sides, there's crazy shit happening. But to label,
You say both sides again.
But what?
They're just both sides.
No,
of it.
let me finish explaining real quick, please.
There's right-wing people on Signal chats opposing immigration enforcement.
No, I mean in different situations, like there's probably left-wing people that tried to rile up the Jan 6ers and stuff. I think it goes both ways. But to label,
That would just still be one way.
to label anyone who's like, I just want to know how many of these hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people protesting are domestic terrorists, because like there's like shadow dockets and stuff that
Usually the ones who stay up after the protest is done and start setting shit on fire, burning cop cars, setting up
they didn't
dumpsters,
burn
fighting
cop
with
cars.
police.
They burned two what's the
Bullshit.
Nah, I think they did cause some violence. They did burn something. I disagree with that. Let me see what's going on with my likes. I don't know why I got likes and dislikes. I don't know if people are using other accounts. This is some weird shit. Yeah, they are using different accounts because I had some amount of likes and they're gone. I'm not sure. Let me take a look what's going on. And hold on. All right, I'm gonna keep going. I'm only gonna be out for like another 15 minutes, maybe. Let's go.
In California, in Los Angeles, they were dropping rocks on cop cars. They did set them on
that's fucked
fire.
up.
They were setting fire to local shops. We watched it all live.
Wait, in California?
Wait, were the
Yeah.
BLM riots peaceful?
No.
No. She grants that, I guess.
No. What was I saying, Sierra? Yeah.
I don't know.
I lose my
You're
thought.
moving things on a little bit. You said that to me. I guess me and Andrew. You're a cancer on society, but can't look in the mirror. You're way worse than OnlyFans. LOL.
Yeah.
How am I worse than OnlyFans?
Because.
And why am I cancer on society?
Well, I don't think. I was really mad at that. I already explained myself several times that I thought you didn't want to have real discussions and you had no accountability to the Trump thing. So I think it's a cancer on society is dividing left and right and women versus men. Instead of coming up with solutions to problems, you play the blame game based off of, and then you don't show a broad picture of what's happening. Like, I think it would be great to have dudes in the same age bracket come on the show.
Then just go start a show.
Yeah, I might do that. And yeah, I just think
What is even that criticism?
I think it's not just you, it's the whole propaganda of the internet thing. And at that point in time, I thought you were kind of not picking and choosing people who wouldn't have education or anything to be a good opponent.
You DM the whatever Instagram, we let you on, basically. I mean, if you can make it to Santa Barbara, you want to be on the show, we pretty much let you on. And then
I think that anything,
we
I think
let you on.
Porn, I think
140 IQ, we let you on.
I think and people who make things left versus right and women versus men are doing harm to society.
Well, really quick on that note, so I think this all would be, I think we can just blame feminism entirely. As far as
they went too far.
Well, I think there's a reactionary component where you basically had feminists on the offensive. You had feminists who were belligerent. You had feminists who were the aggressors with their narratives, with their attacks on men, with their attacks on all kinds of systems, their attacks on the family. You know, even you might say, well, that's what was it, stage 3? What are the different?
The third
wave. The waves, yeah. No, feminism from its inception was anti-family. You can go back into the 1800s, early 1900s, and find anti-natalist, anti-family perspectives in feminist dogma and
rhetoric. I kind of disagree with that on the first wave.
Right, but so feminism has always been antagonistic towards men, and so if you start poking at somebody they're going to poke back. They're going to
Pendulum, I
examine.
get it. One extreme causes one extreme.
Well, yeah, but so this idea that the blame would be on me, if somebody is attacking me, I'm going to attack back. And so I didn't, I guess I just don't understand this criticism of people who have like a sort of reactionary response to feminism when feminism is extremely belligerent. It has it holds all the cards. It holds all the power. If you go to a university, and you would agree, universities, their systems, they have their institutions, massive power. They have massive $1 billion, perhaps in total, $1 trillion endowments at all these institutions. Massive influence. There's not manosphere classes being taught. There's not red pill classes being taught. There's not men's rights advocacy being taught in universities. It's all feminism. It's all women's studies, gender studies, feminist studies classes. My message.
Most people don't even take those classes.
How would it matter if in every
It's not
single,
like it's mandatory.
It extends beyond just the classes, the administration. It's all steeped in feminist ideology. Corporations, the media, the news, it's all steeped in feminist ideology. And so it's interesting to me that you point to me in my podcast and perhaps a few other podcasters who have anti-feminist viewpoints, and you want to say that it's literally David and Goliath. My message is I'm David. Feminism is the Goliath that I'm going up against. I don't have influence. I don't have power. But these feminists, they hold all the cards. They hold everything.
I get where you're coming from, but one extreme causes a different extreme. Feminists went too far, and then
anti-feminism is not extremism. It's counter-extremism. Well, hold on. Let me phrase that better. It's counter to extremism.
Well, I'd say, the first waves of feminism.
Or even bad. Bad back then, too.
Well, so back in from my research, like in the 50s, there was more drug use. 30 to 50% of men were we're committing adultery. It was more common.
50% of men were.
It said 33 to 50% of men were cheating.
In the 1950s?
Yeah, and then women was, I think, like 20%. The numbers have gone way more down. Like,
I don't know where. Okay.
Why are you laughing? And then
because those are fake.
They're not. Dude, everything's fake.
Here, I'll tell you what. Take a second.
Okay.
Pull those numbers up and tell me where they're sourced.
As she pulls them up, make sure you like the stream. Maybe I should start Googling some of these numbers. I might start doing that. I'm going to let them continue, and I'm going to look it up, what they're looking for, and I'm going to give you the numbers, see if that holds weight to today, guys. Stand by.
I know you don't know. That's why I'm asking you to do it.
I am.
I think feminism is a cancer on society, and I'm the antidote.
Well, yeah,
And Andrew's the antidote.
I think middle ground is probably the antidote. Like, hey, you went too far. Let's not try to take away your right to vote or anything. Let's all chill out here.
Even foundational feminist authors are like insanely misandrist. They're anti-male. They're
that's not cool.
anti-family. No. But it's not just like if the core people of that movement are. You can pull up quotes. Actually, Jake Rattlesnake released this really interesting video recently where he's like pulled these quotes from all the like Sally Miller Gearhart, all these like foundational feminists. And if you take a feminist class, you're going to hear from them. You're going to read their books. You're going to read their literature.
All from occult feminism, by the way.
They are. They're anti-male, they're man-haters, they're misandrist, and this is like core to feminism.
Yeah, I don't call myself a feminist. Like I said when I came on the show before, I was fighting against everyone speaking to each other that way. I think their extreme caused this extreme, and all I'm saying is nobody should be extreme, basically. That isn't going to solve anything. We should find some sort of solutions, like telling people it's not right to hate men, telling people it's not right to hate women.
Well, but the difference between me and a feminist is they would justify their contempt or hatred for men. I don't even categorize myself as a misogynist. I think
don't
women
think
are
you
great.
are. I don't think you
women
are.
are great, but you'll find a lot of feminists, they love to justify their contempt and hatred for men. And that's the difference.
Yeah, that's gross.
I can do male advocacy without tearing down women. However, feminists have a very difficult time doing women's advocacy without trying to tear down men, and that's the difference.
I think where it kind of blurs the lines for me is because there's like no dumb young men giving their viewpoints too. So not only does it frame just the left as dumbasses, but it also women.
Wait, hold on. You've had the entire media apparatus for the past 30, 40 years. If you look at sitcoms, you look at the media, you look at commercials, they paint men as these sort of oafs. The father figures, the sort Homer Simpson. You look at Friends, you look at sitcoms. You don't have really good representations of a more traditional masculinity in mass media. You look at Homer, they're just oafs. They paint men as oafs. So this idea that, Brian, you're painting women in these ways. By the way, I'm giving women a microphone to open their mouths. I'm not making women look stupid.
I mean,
if women
they
come
are.
on the show,
But everyone's a freaking
wait,
idiot.
you're saying the women are stupid? Well,
A lot of them
that's
are.
very sexist.
But I think a lot of dudes are equally as stupid. That's my whole point.
I agree
Is
with that.
have some of the dumbasses on too. Like, are there Trump supporters in that same age group? That would be awesome. That would be so cool.
Just give us the
because you're only.
Why don't you start a show and only invite men on?
I would invite some of.
And there's
the
women
girls.
who do that anyways. There's women who do that same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's y'all do make a lot of good points and things, but I think. I think
Okay.
you should be able to see both sides of the dumbass dudes who are also being idiots.
Yeah, sure. there's
It's
stupid
equal.
men. There's stupid men out there.
It's really an issue with our educational system more than left or right. Like everybody is dumb. Like that's a problem we should solve.
It's a bit vague, but you wrote that Andrew's been talking about all the shit and, of course, has grotesque views. Y'all only want to debate dumbasses. So, what are Andrew's grotesque views? Or did we already get into that?
I think we pretty much already did. It's just really the shit he says about periods and.
Who should I debate?
I mean, I know
James, she wants you to.
Yeah, I know that guy, but who else? Who should I debate?
I know you debate people of all types, but
Should I debate everybody?
hey, maybe
Yeah.
do a Charlie Kirk thing, like situation.
Don't I do that? Don't I debate basically all sorts of people from all walks of life at all
Can
times?
you remind me what the question was? Because I had a point.
That's my question. My
Well,
question.
I was going to answer his
You
question.
said that Andrew had grotesque views.
Oh, just like the I've heard him through a lot of his stuff. Like, really, basically, he doesn't believe in democracy a lot. Talking about
How's that a grotesque view?
how there's a long
Wait, how is
plan.
not believing that democracy is a great system a grotesque view?
Don't we
because
have a constitutional republic?
yeah, it's a constitutional republic. He said it's a horrible idea, and then
It was a
using
horrible idea.
Christian nationalism to
Yeah,
take
saying
down
I
the
don't
democracy.
care about any of that. I just care about one question.
Yeah.
Why is opposing democracy a grotesque idea?
When you're trying to replace it with
That's not my question.
opposing democracy.
So opposing democracy itself is not a grotesque idea?
I don't think that is, but when you're using power to take away people's rights and not let people get married and taking
Wait, you
dominance.
talking about
And-
gay? You talking about gay marriage?
Yeah, it's okay to be a Christian leader, but
Wouldn't that be coherent for the Christian worldview, though?
What?
That gay people can't, from a Christian
the
point,
majority of Christians believe gay marriage should be legal.
That's not true.
Yep. That's not
Look
true.
it up.
And then look up.
That's not true. That's not true. Absolutely not. Most of that are actual about the faith, Muslim, Judaism, Christian, all three religions. All three do not, I repeat, do not promote or say they are for what is now known for the last 11 years, gay marriage, since it was legal now in the United States since 2015. So you could look that shit up, but the facts is facts. The facts are facts that most Christians are not down or advocate. Man, just last couple years, there are certain places, certain states, especially in North Carolina, for those that don't know, and this little background for those that come across, if you made it far up this point in this live stream. Do y'all remember the story of a particular Christian cake maker in North Carolina where they didn't want to serve or make a cake for two gay gentlemen for their, I guess, was it marriage? I think it's marriage. Y'all recall that? And that's North Carolina. North Carolina is a heavily Christian state. So stop the cat, baby. Let's go.
What a nominal Christian is, too.
I know what a nominal Christian
What
is,
is it?
but the majority of people aren't nominal. You mean the people that go to church all the time? So you own
if you say
Christianity.
the majority of Christians, you're actually saying that nominal Christians,
Yeah,
the
nominal.
meaning people who don't practice their faith. But the ones who do practice their faith,
Jesus never said you have to go to church.
Yeah, I'm not interested in
Doesn't
what
make
you
you-
think Jesus said.
It doesn't make you
I'm
not a
interested in
Christian.
this. What is a nominal Christian?
Someone who has a nomination and goes to church regularly.
No, the opposite.
A nomination?
A nominal Christian.
Oh, someone that doesn't have. Stop, dude, bro.
What? I'm looking.
Yeah, so
Yeah, can you
when you're talking about people who are not nominal Christians, though, what do they say about gay marriage?
Some of them are for, some of them are against.
The overwhelming
The
majority.
majority of them are against. But legally,
So
I
the
don't know
people
about
actually
that.
practice their faith from
But
in
if you
Christianity.
if you look at the statistics, 10% of people are a Christian nationalist. Out of the 32% or whatever that are conservatives, it's like 40% of them
Yeah, you
want
know,
to. It's only 40, literally less than half of them
You like
want
democracy? Do you like democracy?
in this current state, I think it needs some revision.
But you like it?
Yeah.
How come people weren't allowed to vote on whether or not gays should get married then?
They should be able to.
Well, they were in states until the Supreme Court ruled that they
I
couldn't.
know that.
But then how come in all the states,
They
including,
should make an amendment
including
about that.
California, they ruled against it?
That was in 2014, and there was and they should revote it.
Yeah. So all the Christian nationalists is saying is the same thing,
Have a
that it
vote.
should be up to the states, not the feds, to make a universal law on marriage, but states, and that the states should be allowed to vote it in or vote it out, because anytime it's left to the states, they say no.
I mean, looking at the statistics, it seems like
Then you should.
if people actually got the chance to vote, then they would
Then
vote
what would your
yes.
opposition to my plan be?
My opposition is like Project 2025.
What does that have to do with what I just said? My idea here is that you bring marriage back to the state, and that people within the state can vote whether or not LGBTQ people can or cannot get married. What would your opposition to that be?
My opposition would be that we should make a constitutional amendment and then do that. Like, yeah, the Supreme Court, if you don't like
A
how...
constitutional amendment to do what?
If you don't like how the Supreme Court ruled, then you have to, like, amend...
No, you don't
make an
need to
amendment
amend
to
it.
that.
That was an interpretation, and they can reinterpret it.
Well, then have them do that.
Yeah, that's the idea. That's what Christian nationalists are proposing.
But you also said that you want the church to decide, be responsible for marriage, and that you don't want
Yeah, that's a
anyone
really
else
good
to get
idea. It
marriage.
seems like a terrible idea to have the state responsible for marriage. They haven't done a bang-up job, have they?
I mean, there's issues, but I don't think the church, like, only allowing Christians to get married is the...
No? Well, who
I've
said
heard
that?
I've heard you in your interviews talking about it.
If you wanted to go and sign a contract with the state, I don't see why you couldn't do that as a secularist.
You said that the church should, like, it shouldn't be, only the church should be responsible for marriage.
Yes, for,
and people
for Christians, and the state should have no say. Yes.
For only Christians.
Yes.
So everyone else can still
Yeah, I don't
their
give a
thing.
shit if secularists go and fucking go, oh, we're going to get married and divorced in 5 years. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
But I thought you said everyone else shouldn't
I
get
want
married.
Christian. I don't. If I was a secularist,
You wouldn't
I think
allow
conflate-
anyone else to get
I think
married.
you conflate many things. So let's walk the position through. Okay, Andrew's position. Secular marriage is fucking stupid. It's stupid. It's meaningless. It's not foundational. I have no idea why they do it. You would be better off just walking out in the street with some random guy and being like, hey, we're married. And he goes, yeah, I agree. That would be just as good. But if you wanted to, if you just demanded that the state come in and intervene in your marriage and have contracts with you, fine. I don't fucking care. What I'm saying is that I think Christians should be able to exempt themselves from state control, and that should be governed by the church.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Duh.
I mean,
it's a completely reason. The problem with you is like you don't even know my position.
No, I do know that position because I've literally
then
watched all the interviews.
Why did you just straw man it?
I'm not straw manning it. Like you literally just said that you don't think anyone other than Christians should have the right to get married. You didn't say it about the state in that interview. No, you did not.
Listen, what I said was that marriage should go back to the church. I don't consider secular marriage valid. I don't even consider it valid.
Well, you realize that like 80-something% of people consider themselves Christian?
Yeah, that's nice. Anybody, from my view, who will marry two men or marry two women or marry three people together, that's not a valid institution from my view anymore.
Well, I mean, that's your view, but...
That's right, and I'm going to rule from my view. I'm going to advocate for the rule from my view, not from your... I don't fucking care about your view. Your view is dumb. So I'm not going to advocate that we rule from that view.
I mean, all I have to say is that your view is highly unpopular, and yeah, none of that basically is
that's what leftists used to say about abortion, too. Your view is highly unpopular, but guess what? Times are changing.
Well, yeah, times are changing. Trump, yeah, all of your little Trump supporters, the majority of the young people now against that. Project 2025, yes, they're implementing a lot of it, which is all Christian nationalist beliefs. But when the whole Epstein thing happened, it kind of derailed all of that to a point.
By design.
What, their Project 2025
because
plan?
Dumb twats are running around claiming that Trump is part of a pedo ring. Just made up, completely made up by leftists.
Yeah, I never said I said he's a pedo protector. Who's
yeah,
also
whatever.
A
He's not. You just made that up too. You have no evidence of that either.
Literally, the majority of all people in every country, literally, even on the right, they know that he's covering shit up.
Yeah, whatever. No,
you're in the small part of the population.
I'll tell you what,
that still thinks he didn't have anything to do with covering it up.
I'm going to end up being completely vindicated on it, like I am every other view I have.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see about that.
We should take you seriously because, after all, your views are completely coherent.
Yeah, not being able to communicate.
When you reference things you don't know anything about.
I do. I don't have a great memory. Doesn't mean I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, I have dyslexia, I haven't slept, and I've never been in a debate. And then y'all keep, before I even answer, y'all say something else.
You've been in multiple debates on whatever. I've watched them.
Well, I've been on whatever.
Engaged in multiple debates.
Yeah, and then y'all kept trying to shut me up before I got to the point.
Look, it's not my idea to have a 2v. I always do 1v1 debates.
I didn't want a 2v2.
Always. I always do 1v1. But the thing is like, look, when Brian's going back and forth with you, I'm not saying anything. I've been sitting here quietly.
Well, I appreciate that. But yeah, I wanted to debate you. And then, yeah, every time I try to say something, then get to my point, then y'all say something to where I never get to my point. And then he says, well, move along. We're moving along.
Well, do you understand, though? Try to look at it from the opposition view. So I try to be real short and concise with the things that I say so that I can reiterate what it is that I'm saying so that other people can understand it the best way possible. Well, when somebody else is going like, and then it's all incoherent and it sounds like babble, of course people try to rein that in. I'm trying to be charitable, though.
Well, I appreciate that, but I'm never debated. My brain thinks differently, different ways than other people's brains, and I'm doing best I can. And I knew that I would not win the debate. That's not my purpose of being here. My purpose is literally what I said in my beginning is follow the money, don't vote for the PACs. Literally all of that. Stop hating each other.
Why ask for a debate if I don't understand?
I mean, I knew that I wouldn't win a debate.
Well,
my purpose here,
my
purpose of being here is not to change Andrew's views, is to put out my point with a greater message that
that's fair.
For the truth of don't switch to being Dem or Republican if it's a corporate puppet versus someone who's not. pick whoever's in the party that's not. And
Don't vote for the bad person.
don't vote
Got it. You also wrote, good job grifting off Candace and Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, that was based off of him calling people murderers, calling Candace crazy, and then you reposting.
She is crazy. She's an idiot.
And then
Literally, she's objectively. She can't even pronounce the word she says. She's so fucking stupid.
Literally, that doesn't mean that you're stupid. I have a condition that causes me to do that, and neurological issues.
That's it. I'm done. Not much commentary. There's some commentary I said earlier in the stream, but personally, this is not a debate. She came up here just to talk. I'm gonna say this to wrap this up. For you ladies that is gonna go on these male only centered channels, bring something to the table. I know that's kind of foreign that they say women should. We ask what you bring to the table. If you don't bring nothing something tangible, something that could stimulate us intellectually, you just here want to run your mouth because you want to run your mouth. That's all. This will not be accepted. I understand why Andrew debates these low-level chicks. As it comes to a point, he's going to soon stop doing this because really, truly, to people that watch this, most of the men that watch this, we always got to ask them today, are we really getting value of these men have a conversation with these women that said they're qualified or they have high IQs or whatever? If they really could hold weight to any conversation. Other than that, you be the judge. What's your thoughts, opinions? Leave your comments below on this video. I'm done. Enough. Look forward to hearing you on the comment section. If you didn't subscribe to the Chaos Radio channel, waiting for subscribe to the channel. It's optional, Oh, and one other thing I want to say before closing. I went and picked up Andrew's wife's book. This is her first book called The Occultism of Feminism and the Secret History of Women. It's a very good book. Very interesting book, but I do say so myself. I'm not sure if I can show y'all. Let me see. Let me test. No, I can't show you. Not right now. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna read it on the show, do content, but we'll see. But thank y'all for watching today's stream. Look for y'all in the comment section below. Make sure you like this video or hype this video. Remember, always like, comment, subscribe to the channel. And till next time, and I mean till next time, guys. Thank you.
They like the chaos.
They like the chaos. So when you're able to
The chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
The chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
The chaos
let that chaos reign with,
must reign.